Good morning. I'm going to start slightly differently today. I need to get something off my chest as a Spurs fan. Forget being a YouTuber. I need to vent. I need to rant. And you guys are going to have to listen to this. Whoever is running Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, Charrington, Vinay, Levy, Lang, Lewis, whoever is running this football clubs, shame on you. Absolute shame on you. I have tried my best. I'm somebody who for years has pulled this board apart from pillar to post. And this year I tried and I said to myself, I am going to give the board the benefit of the doubt, because you know what? They've gone and done what I wanted on the manager front. They've removed the manager that I didn't like. They've gone spending £7-8 million to do that. Then 10-11 million pounds to go in and get the manager that I did like and all his coaching staff. And I said to myself, are they moving differently? Are they moving differently? Let me give them a chance. Then I see Tell come through the door. Lazy. Meh. Sakai at 5 million. Danso, who we know is a good centre-half, but a rotational centre-half. And Kudus, the one to make us go, oh, we're different. And Muggins here, was sucked in for a very brief moment in time. Muggins, this dickhead, this guy, sucked in. We're moving differently. Kudus, Gibbs White, 24 hours. Oh my God, we're moving differently. Daniel Levy cares. Vinay cares. They want to win. They want to build. They want to grow. They're showing us that we crept in to the Champions League through the back door. And we're going to grab this opportunity. This opportunity we probably didn't deserve. We're going to grab it with both hands and we're going to say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Spurs fans. Here's what we're going to do. And as usual, they have absolutely, as I said, whoever it is, they have reverted to type. They have reverted to type. Mediocre signings, mediocre links, slow, can't get rid of anyone. No one's coming in that improves the 11 other than Kudus. Then you get the fans going, the window's not shut yet. Don't be negative. How many years in a row are they going to say that? As I said, with the Gibbs White situation, I was giving the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I don't think it's Spurs' fault. And now it looks like it was absolutely our fault. Now, what I mean by that is, one, either we did something wrong, or two, we didn't walk away and say, right, let's not waste our time. Let's act like a big club. We let the saga drag on and on and on, all the while looking at our squad and going, right, we don't have the Europa League this year to fall back on. We have Champions League football. We need to strengthen massively. We can't get away with what we got away with last year. We need 3-4 first-team players at a minimum. And here we are on pre-season tour. They flew out last night. Pre-season tour with Ben Davies as the only left-back in the squad. Because, fair enough, injuries happen like they have to Udogie. But again, have we gone out and addressed, let's get another left-back? Let's get another left back. Nope, didn't bother. Haven't bothered in this window, have we? What would Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City do? We need a left back. Boom, done, in, ready. Not Spurs. Oh, well, maybe we can put Van der Ven there. Don't worry, Spence can play there. Cool. Everyone just out of position. Everyone. We're going on a pre-season tour with Richarlison, Solanke and Lancashire as our free forward options in a Champions League season. It is disgraceful. It's utterly disgraceful. We haven't sold a single player of note. No one. Chelsea are out there just selling their deadwood. Chelsea are selling players they don't even want for 30, 40, 50 million. Tottenham are sitting here. Nope, same squad. No one's left behind. No one's left behind, are they? The Richarlisons, the Basumas, apparently the players that we want out. No one's left behind to force a move. Nope. Come on. Come on, pre-season tour. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Come on, pre-season tour. Don't worry. We are a Solanke hamstring injury away from Richarlison being our number one striker in a Champions League campaign. We are an Udogie injury away from Ben Davies being our only left back, as we're about to see on pre-season tour. We are a club that has a mediocre midfield. We've got some decent midfielders. Decent. They're okay. But we're going up a level. We're going up to Champions League. Where's the ambition? Where's the ambition to say, thank you, these players have done a job to this level. Now we need a little bit better. Where is that ambition? Where is it? And you know me, guys. You know me, and I know this will hit with some people, and other people will say, oh, you're just rage baiting. Well, shouldn't we all be rage baiting? You know me. I don't expect Spurs to compete for the big, big players. You know me. But there are so many players out there. There are so many players out there that improve this squad. Leeds are going for some of them. Everton are going for some of them. And we're sitting here going, nope, not Spurs. Not Spurs. Oh, but we can't buy them. There's no squad space. Buy them. Tell the other squad players, you're not getting registered. Nope, can't do that. We're too nice. You wake up this morning to see that Newcastle and Man United have both offered proposals to Benjamin Sesko. Where's Spurs in this? I'm just using him as an example. Where's Spurs in that? How are Man United, Newcastle, one is a Champions League club like us, right? The other one isn't even in Europe. And I get it that they're a big club. I always say they're a big club. But why are we not even there? Why is no one at Spurs saying, you know what? We need better than Solanke and Richarlison. Why don't we go in for Sesko? Why don't we present our project? That's the way that Plettenberg and Ornstein and Romano say it, isn't it? Why don't we go to Sesko and say, this is our project? Go to RB Leipzig, £70 million. We've talked to the player. He wants to join. Where are we? Nope. We're sitting here bigging up Solanke, bigging up Richarlison for what's about to be his fourth season. If I'm not wrong, fourth season as a Spurs player. We're out here loaning Mikey Moore's generational talents to Glasgow Rangers, apparently. While Chelsea this morning are about to wrap up Terrell Hatto and Xavi Simons. They weren't even in the Europa League last year. They were in the Conference League. Where is the... You know what? If you aim for it and fail, cool. But we're not even aiming. We're not even trying at this stage, are we? And I've tried to defend where possible. Transfers are difficult. And I'm not asking for the Florian Wirtz. I'm not asking that we get Rayan Cherki in front of City. I get it. I completely get it. Those are bigger clubs that are going to attract players more than we do. I get that if we go into a one-on-one battle with Chelsea, we probably lose. But how bad can the scouting be that we can't find our own level of players? How bad can it be? How can Lang, Vinay, Levy, how can they sit there and watch this and go, We don't need to do anything else. And yes, we're going to do some bits between now and the end of the summer. But we play PSG in like 16 days, if I'm not wrong. 16 days. Our first Premier League game is in 19 days. We're a Champions League football team, people. So all those fans that say, don't worry, the window's not over, get some ambition. Have some ambition. Do you know what? We've seen this before. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Tottenham Hotspur have qualified for the Champions League in 2010, 2011, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 22, 23, and 25, 26. And in not one of those summer transfer windows, not one of those summer transfer windows have we as a club, whether it's the directors of football, whether it's Levy, whether it's Lewis, whether it's Vinay now, not once have we gone, right, what's the plan, guys? What's the plan? How are we going big? Who are we going for? How are we raising the bar a little bit? I'm not even talking about raising it there. How are we going to lift it from here to there? Not one of those seasons have we done that. Not one of them. And there were years where I understood that our transfer windows might not be amazing. There were years where you go, okay, all right, we're building a stadium. Oh, I hate this, but we're building a stadium. There's no money. Whether I believe that or not is not the point, but you get it. As an excuse, it's kind of there. There were years when it was, oh, we've only just moved into the stadium. We've only just moved in. There's no money yet. We've now been in this stadium since 2019. We've seen the revenues. We're building hotels, for crying out loud. We've got the skywalk. We've got the go-kart track. We've got the boxing and the concerts and the NFL. We've got deals with Asian patisseries. We've got deals with South Korean backpack companies or whatever it is. I don't know. We've got deals with Deluxe. But yet the transfer window rolls around in a year where by hook or crook, we rescued our season and got Champions League football. And where are we? To quote my man Lubo, we're nowhere. We are nowhere. Absolutely nowhere right now. United and Newcastle looking at Sesko. Chelsea getting Hato and Pedro and Simmons. Man United getting Cunha and Mbuemo now in for Sesko. Everyone Liverpool buys. If you noticed, every one of Liverpool signings is a first-team player that makes them better. Frimpong, Kirkes, Wirtz, Ekatike, Isak if it goes through. These are football clubs that want to win. And I've tried, and I'm going to speak to Lubo about it when he joins me. I have tried. He knows I've tried to meet in the middle. I've tried to meet in the middle of not hating on Levy and Enoch so much, but they make it so difficult. They make it so difficult. How on earth can I sit here and back them now? How can I? Unless in this next 2 weeks, we see 2 to 3 top players coming in. How can I back them? How am I not going to join the Lubo Stell type stance of things? How can I sit there and play devil's advocate? I will try my best. But how can I sit there and do this when they are not keeping to their end of the bargain? You saw hundreds of thousands of fans celebrating a trophy, flying out to Bilbao, spending their money, thousands of pounds on season tickets, expensive fish and chips, expensive sausage rolls, expensive beers. And what are they giving back? What are they giving back? Don't worry, we won a trophy. We don't need to do anything. And Thomas Frank, I love Thomas Frank. You all know I do. I've got no problem with Thomas Frank. This guy's taking this club into the Champions League. The Champions League. On Thursday nights, we were playing Elfsborg and Karabag. We're not playing teams of that caliber on Tuesdays and Wednesdays anymore. We're going to be playing proper teams. We're going to be playing teams where we can't rotate 7 or 8 players out of the first team. It's different now. This isn't Ange versus Frank. It's different this season, whoever the manager is. This manager is taking Spurs into the Champions League. Why can we not just act like a big club just once? Just once. Enoch, take money out of your own pocket just for once. Give the manager £250 million. Go and buy 4 to 5 £50 million players who are all first-team players. And then we hand it over to Frank and go, right, go on, mate, go. But no, we've given him one first-team starter this window. One. And people already going, see, Frank's rubbish. He's had one first-team starter. So I'll end it on this. We all love Tottenham, right? I'm sick of hearing that whenever I have a rant like this, whether anyone cusses the club or critiques the club, you're not a real fan, get behind the club. This isn't about that. We want to get behind the club. We want the owners to get behind the club. And as I said, I don't know if it's Levy. I don't know if it's Lang. I don't know if it's Vinay or Charrington or Lewis. I don't know. I don't care. I'm a football fan. What I care about is we have got 35 days of a transfer window left. And while Chelsea, Liverpool, City and Arsenal, the big four, while they are all chopping money, building squads, Spurs are sitting there and watching with a cigar going, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And you know what? I'm a mug for thinking it would be different. I'm a mug. This mug here for thinking that Daniel Levy, Enoch, Vinay, whoever, was going to, for once, get the manager in they want and back him. I'll leave it there, guys. I'm just so frustrated. I'm so frustrated. Let me bring in Lubo. Apologies for the rant. Some of you will identify with it. Some of you won't. Lubo, sorry for keeping you waiting. Lubo, I think you'll agree.
Couldn't say it better.
I've tried this summer to play devil's advocate. I've tried to say that something might change. It's utterly, utterly shambolic right now at this football club, isn't it? It is a shambles.
Listen, understand people want these owners to change. They want to believe they'll change. They want and they give them a latitude, which is very nice for the fans, actually. But enough's enough. At what stage now are all the other fans going to come around to thinking the way you do and say, do you know what? It's enough now. They're well past their sell-by date, completely past their sell-by date. They've got to go. They've got to sell the club. Just sell the club. Take your billions and leave. And let someone else come in and try and make this club successful. It's embarrassing how the other 4 and 5, really. I mean, United, Ratcliffe is preaching poverty, but he's still gone out and bought Cunha and Mbeumo.
And they're in talks with Sesko right now, Ian.
I know. So that'll take it up to over 200 million. What are we doing? What are we doing? They've all gone off on a jolly now to the Far East. Let's go and enjoy ourselves in Hong Kong and South Korea. Who cares about the club? Frank doesn't need supporting. That's their attitude. They're just a shambles. They're just ineffective, inefficient. They've just got to go. They've got to go. I mean, Frank, I feel sorry for the bloke. He must have come in and thought, what is this shit show? Jesus, Brentford gave him better support on their limited resources. Just a joke. Just awful. Just awful. Now, maybe people will get behind what I've been saying for 18 years now, since that exchange I had with Levy in the shareholders meeting. Was it 06, 07, where he told me it's a privilege for me to come and see my club. And this is the problem. You have a chairman that's so arrogant. We are just clients. We are cash cows to him. The football doesn't matter. It's just about the profit. That's all it is. For him, if he makes money this year, it's a success. That's better than the Europa League or top four. That's what it is for these guys.
Do you know what I tell you what the frustrating thing is? I've reached that stage. I've always said this window that this has to be done before the tour, haven't I? I've always said to you, we fly out, and I've done the countdown. We fly out in 20 days. So we fly out in 30 days, 20 days, 10 days, 5 days, 2. Well, we've flown. We've gone. The birds have left the nest, and Ben Davies is the only left back on tour. Like,
yeah, officially. I mean, he'll play Mickey there, won't he?
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Back four either.
That's not the point. The point is that these other clubs have a look and go, what do we need? Look, listen, I have to caveat this because people go mad at me. I'm not saying we get the same caliber as Chelsea and City, but City turn around this window. We need a left back. 8 Nuri, bish bash bosh. Wasn't even expensive, by the way. 8 Nuri wasn't even expensive.
No.
Right? We need a new midfielder. Reinders, bish bash bosh. Right? Chelsea, we need another defender. Hato. Go on, in you come, son. Right? We need a couple of forwards. Go on then. Bino Gittins and Pedro. Right?
And Delap.
We want and Delap. We need another midfielder. Come on then, Xavi Simons. And you know what? The worrying thing is, none of these players, they're actually spending extortionate amounts on Lubo. When we normally say, but look at the money Chelsea and City, all of the players I've just mentioned, Cherky, Reinders, 8 Nuri, Delap, Bino Gittins, Pedro, Xavi Simons, Hato, none of these players are like 80, 90 million pound footballers.
Cherky.
Listen, Liverpool going like they're going mahoosive, right? But you've got Newcastle United. Now, bless them. I feel sorry for them. They're not getting deals over the line, but they're bidding. They're in talks. They're trying. I said to you earlier, I just sent you a picture of something, didn't I? I sent you a picture of the Sesko.
Yes.
News, and your response to me was perfect. Don't get used to it, as box office would say. But your response was perfect. We are nowhere.
Yeah.
Why are we right now? Why are we not in a freeway with Man U and Newcastle looking at Sesko? Why are we not saying we need a better striker? And whatever people think of Sesko, he's superior to Dominic Solanke and Richarlison.
So if they don't want to spend the dough, they won't spend 80, 90 million on the player. It's taken them this long to. Our record signing up to date is 57 million. Arsenal is 105, Chelsea is 115, City is 100, Liverpool is now 120, I think, or 116, and United is 85. And we're 57. That just gives you an idea. It's just,
It's just, I don't even think they need to spend big to do better than what they're doing,
You listen, you need a bit of stardust to sweeten the whole thing. You do need some top players in there with others. And, you need one or two very, very good players. Now, if you can get them for a keen price, then get them for a keen price. Absolutely. You don't have to spend big money to get good players. And it's normally strikers that are a lot, Florian Wirtz was the way, maybe it's changing. Maybe the top midfield players now commanding the, maybe you've got Rice, you've got Caicedo, you've got Fernandes. Maybe it's the top midfield players that now command the massive fees. How much would Rodri go for? So maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's used to be strikers, didn't it? Now it's attacking midfielders as well. But I don't know. We are nowhere. We're nowhere. Club aren't interested. The owners are not interested. And when are people going to wake up? Seriously, when is the fan base going to wake up?
Mate, it's why I can't pay to go. It's why I can't pay to go and watch.
I know. Burnley at home, the whole ground should be singing "Leave It Out." The whole ground. It started. There was like a brief 30-second "Leave It Out" at Luton on Saturday, and that was it. But it's there. It's still there. People are fed up.
Sunderland have just had the "Here we go" for Granit Xhaka. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want Granit Xhaka, but for Sunderland,
no, thanks. But they're having a go.
But it's not about us wanting him. It's about them at their level coming up as a promoted club are trying. They are trying to bring in better players than what they've got. We've brought in one player that's better than what we had. Because Danso's not better than any of our centre-halves. Tell isn't better than our wingers.
No.
Sakai's not better than Van der Ven and Romero or Danso or probably Dragoshin. I've tried my best. I've tried my best, but I've hit that brick wall, Lubo. I've hit that brick wall of playing devil's advocate. I've hit that brick wall of going, all right, well, let's see what they do. Now, listen, Lubo, they might shut me up. In the next 2 weeks, you might go, bish, bash, bosh. 3 good players come through the door. Maybe. But we all know it's not happening, don't we?
Listen, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? We carry on hoping, we carry on thinking, we're a big club. Frank can improve the club. We will get better results because we won't be playing wide open football. But if he leaves it, that he's just brought in Kudus and that's it, pretty much. How much you need Frank's not a magician. He's not David Copperfield. He can coach us to a better level. But 7th, 8th tops, maybe, if you're lucky.
I almost wish that rant I just did. I almost wish that rant would be sent to somebody at Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I almost wish that they would see this is not just me. I mean, but when fans like me do a rant and I've got a viewing, I've got an audience. I would love those sort of rants, like what Daigle did yesterday, like what I've done. I would love somebody to put that in front of the club and go, this is how a lot of the fan base feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my worry is, Lubo, like we talked about this briefly this morning on WhatsApp. My worry is, where are Vinay, Levy, and Lang? Are they all in Asia?
I think so. I don't know about Lang, but I'm sure. A tour of this magnitude, which it's a big tour. It's an important tour for the club. I'm sure they're down. They're in the Far East now.
It's even Daigle, the leader. Some might say of the Enoch out or whatever. Yeah. Even Daigle, I've seen him all summer say, you know what? Let me keep my cool. Let me keep my calm. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay collected.
Yeah.
But he said, if I see what I normally see, I'm going to unleash. And then what happens? 2.5 weeks of the whole Morgan Gibbs-White debacle. I don't want to go into the Morgan Gibbs-White thing. I don't know what's happened. We'll find out at some point, right? 2.5 weeks of that debacle, and everyone's back to going, oh, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. Do you know what? I'm waking up, right, Lubo? I'm waking up to Felix has signed for, what is it, Al Nassr or whoever he signed for out there.
I think, is it?
Whoever he signed for, right? I'm seeing that Renato Vega is possibly going to Atletico. If not, they're going to find another club for him. I'm seeing that Sterling, they're shipping him out. I'm seeing that Chelsea are getting Dewsbury Hall. Looks like he's going to make a permanent move to Fulham, right? I'm going to say it. People are going to hate me. I absolutely commend Chelsea. Forget all they've got billionaire oils cheating. When it comes to a transfer window, they work tirelessly. How many have left this window? 6, 7? How many have come in? 6, 7? Still more going in, more going out.
You mean for Spurs? You talk about Spurs?
No. No, I'm talking about Chelsea. They've got all this deadwood they don't want, They find clubs for them. They find clubs in Mexico for them, Turkey, Saudi, the US, Premier League rivals. They just get rid of them. Yeah, but Marius, you're missing a point. My point isn't to talk about how good or not João Felix is. That's not. You're missing the point, Marius. My point is Chelsea don't want him, and they've managed to go and get 40-odd million with money with add-ons for a player they don't want. Same they're going to do with Sterling and Renato Vega and Dewsbury Hall and the goalkeeper Petrovic. This is what the big clubs do. They get rid of the players as well. Find the club. Tell our players, you've been here for years now. We don't want you. You're not going to be registered. Be ruthless. Be ruthless. I get it, right? You can't force a player to go. I get it. But you can make it as uncomfortable for them as possible. But we've gone on pre-season. Apparently, we want to sell Basuma. He's there. Apparently, we want to sell Richarlison. He's there. I mean, look, I'm seeing this comment from Nebo. Says, I don't hate you, Savva. Go criticize now as you wish. I don't like when you wanted Ange out. Mate, but this, again, Nebo, grow up. This isn't about Ange or Frank. This is about Tottenham Hotspur. You can't tell me I'm allowed to have these rants now that Ange is gone, but when Ange was here, you didn't like them. This isn't about who the manager is. This isn't about... Right now, we could have Pep Guardiola as manager. Right? You still got to back him. We're in the Champions League. Lubo, this is about to be our 7th year in the Champions League, and not one of the windows have we gone
not one.
Big. Not one.
Just want to say, 11:34. So have Rick Kane. Lubo has been right all along, whilst all of us have been dreaming.
Listen, Lubo.
Listen. Nothing wrong with dreaming. We're fans. Fans should be allowed to dream? But this is the reality. And as much as we love the club and we just want to dream that we're going to do well and have more nights like we had in Bilbao, reality's got to kick in, and fans have got to start acting now. They've got to start acting. We've got to have thousands and thousands on the high roads. We've got to, the way that even if it meant we have the same situation as United, where Jim Ratcliffe came in and bought 25% and took over the football side, that for me would be better than what we've got now, because what we've got now is plainly unacceptable. And if things start going wrong league-wise, if Frank can't get a tune out of his team, what we're going to finish 10th, 12th? We're just going to finish nowhere. This time next year, we won't have Champions League football. Not that it's making any difference in terms of making Spurs as a major pulling power team, but without Champions League football, what players are going to want to come to us? And all of a sudden, you'll start and it will start dipping down and down, and then the club's in free fall. You'll see sponsors. I'm sure sponsors were getting cheesed off last year. I'm sure, which is why Lewis brought Vinay and Charrington. It's just not working, isn't it? Whatever they've done, I was told Vinay was running he'd taken over from Munn as chief of football operations, and Levy was doing less on the football side, much less. In fact, he was sort of working non-football. It doesn't appear to be that way, does it? It just doesn't appear to be that way. I can't believe that Vinay was 14 years with Arsenal, and he's looking over this debacle with this farce with Gibbs White. I mean, he needs to come out and tell the fans exactly what's happened. There needs to be communication with the fan base, but there never is. There never is. This guy was meant to be brilliant on communicating with the fans. No point just sort of sitting and talking to the trust or talking to FAB, the fan advisory board. Let's come out with some proper statements to the fans. Why is Vinay hiding away? Where has the club been after Gibbs White? Where are they? Nothing. Not a word. Not a word. Just a complete shit show. Just awful. We may buy some players in the next 5 weeks. Hopefully we do. Hopefully they're the right players. But up to now, it's been horrendous. It's just been dreadful. Barkudas. Over to you, Sav.
Mate, I just don't know. I don't know how. Listen, there's so many people that want to fight back at me. There's so many people that fight back at me, right? The window's not shut, and it's like, sure, but we're on tour. We got 3 games of a tour until we play PSG.
Yeah.
Where are the players? Where are the players? Lubo, I need you to hold the thought for 1 second. Talk for 1 second. I need you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just have a quick look through the comments. Good signing for Sunderland. Agree with that. Wasted on Tottenham because Levy thinks he can compete against the elite clubs with budget players. That's Webslinger. Fully agree. You cannot give a manager a Conference League budget and ask him to go and compete with Champions League clubs. Moving on, not ignoring anybody, it's just sort of flicking through. Here we are, not is our motto. Couldn't agree more. Xhaka walks into our midfield. Not too sure about that, Bryce. I think he is one of the most overrated players going. I thought, apart from 1 year, he was dreadful for Arsenal. Absolutely dreadful. He was a real liability. Got himself, I mean, how many times was he sent off against us? Whatever happens now, it's too late. Been left too late. Where are we? Penfold spot on Lubo. Turns out your agenda was right all along. Keep speaking the truth. I will do. Thank you, Penfold. Levy needs more than hounding out. Just hounding out would be enough, Linda. The guy needs to go. Where are we now? Frank will improve the squad, but he's not a miracle worker. His team need reinforcements ASAP. Absolutely. Philly, how you doing, Phil? Nice to see you last week. Spurs are going to panic by at the end of the window, like they always do. Like they did when they didn't get Mane, Wijnaldum or Zaha, and they went in and panic buyed on the last day with Sissoko. Vinny needs to see it. Vinny's seeing it. I'm sure he's seeing it. Ben, morning. Dayball's rank was epic, by the way. Very good. I got through 20 minutes of it before the phone went today, and I shall listen to the rest. But Brian spoke nothing but the truth. Just going through, Levy ain't leaving Lubo ever. It's his business. Singing Levy out is bad energy. Frank doesn't need. We need to bring good vibes and hope that Frank can get more signings of his own. Stephen, you really think that's going to happen? You've watched what's gone on in the last 25 years. You're watching what's going on in real time now with the club, and you really think singing Levy out is bad energy. I think it has to happen, but outside the grounds to start. Outside the ground, we need 15,000 outside the ground. It needs to be massive. Inside the ground, you get on and you support the team, but outside the ground, Levy needs to know that the fans are fed up, and you just can't keep taking the piss out of them. He's done this for 25 years nearly. Enough's enough now. Just take your billions and go. Go on, Savva. I'm done.
Yeah, by the way, also it looks like West Ham might be on the verge of signing Callum Wilson, by the way. So make of that what you will. I don't know how sure that is, but apparently West Ham are about to sign him. Listen, Lubo, I like to think, and I know that so many viewers don't actually listen when I say things. I get it, right? It's YouTube. I get it. I've not once, Lubo, said we should compete with the big clubs for the players they're going for. But there's nothing with us acting like them. And what I mean by that is there's nothing wrong with us saying, right, here's the 6-7 players we want. Here's the 5 players we want. Boom, 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 boom. Now, is that the same caliber as City and Arsenal and Chelsea? No, it's not going to be. But what's stopping us do that? The only thing that's stopping us doing that is that there must be no appetite, no ambition.
There isn't. There isn't.
We can't.
As long as we finish in the European places, that means that the fans buy the tickets, they come in, they spend money on the season tickets, get sold, the food and drink goes up, the merchandise gets sold in the club shop. As long as the money's rolling in, we're fifth, sixth, around fourth. We never quite get there, do we? I mean, we've been there 7 times now in 18 years. We were miles off it last year, apart, in terms of league position. As long as that happens, the owners are happy. The money's rolling in. What do they need to stretch themselves for? What do they need to compete for? This doesn't fit their business model. Their business model is purely about profit, build up all the outside activities so more and more money comes in, which builds the value of the club, and then they can sell the club for they can maximize the potential of the club and get top price, get top money for it. That's all it is. That's all it is. We're on YouTube, and it's demoralizing for everybody, to be honest. It's just demoralizing because this is a big club. This is a big club that won 30 trophies in 40 years. And I know Sean goes on about the Evertons and the Villas and Forest and this one and that one. I genuinely think we are bigger than those clubs. We are bigger. And we won more trophies in those 40 years than those clubs as well.
The thing that we've done is we've put listen, and this is where I will give Daniel Levy credit, is we've put ourselves into a position where we are bigger than them. We've put ourselves into the position, and I think, listen, I'll use that to go into this. And big up to my man Pete. Pete, if you want to join, you're more than welcome, mate. I know you're probably at work. This is it. I almost get it. Last year, we weren't guaranteed the revenue. I understand it. Well, we didn't have a great window. Obviously, I didn't want it to be that bad, but this year, we're in the Champions League. And as Pete says, every time we have a platform to grow, we waste it. And all the times when we've debated Levy and Enoch, what do I always say? I always say, I don't blame Levy and Enoch for the managers that lose finals. But what do I blame them for? I blame them for moments like this, where we've got a chance to kick on and we never do. And you know what? When the excuse was, we've got a stadium to pay for, all right, I'll let you have it. I'll let you have that. But when the excuse is, we've been in the stadium for 6 years, we're in Champions League, we're making revenues, we've got hotels and concerts and NFL and boxing and Skywalk and F1. There's no leeway now. There's no leeway. There's no excuses, Lubo. There's no excuses. And Pete is bang on. This is a platform to grow. And we're not.
We never do. We never do. Club's not interested. The owners are not interested. People have just got to wake up. These owners are not interested in competing. They are as risk averse as they can be. They got away with it last year. They got away with it. Can you imagine if we'd lost that? If we'd have got, what a high risk policy that was, strategy that was. You're 17th. We're dropping down the league. We went from 6th in November after we beat Man City down to 17th in 26 games. So, and we got 19. We got 19 points from the first 12, and then 19 from the next 26. What a slump! 19 out of 78. And he kept in there, and he kept in there, and he kept in there for Champions League money. So the Champions League money would come in. So he's very happy. He's not going to have the big losses that we would have had if we'd have lost that final. And he's happy. He doesn't have to spend. Money's coming in. It's going to be profit for Enoch. It's raising the value of the club if they sell the club. That's all they're interested in. That's it. That's it. I mean, please tell me otherwise. I'm be interested to hear if Sean's got a counter argument tonight after what's been going on this weekend.
Well,
how can anyone have a counter argument with what's going on? It's there in black and white. You can't just, we can't just be dreamers and say, oh, they love their club. They want the club. It's just been bad luck. I mean, how have we allowed ourselves to get drawn into that situation regarding Gibbs White, that whole transfer situation? Just be honest. Whatever's happened. Surely in the last 2.5 weeks, somebody should have actually looked at a situation and said, right, surely that they could have given it to lawyers and said, right, where do we stand? I don't know. And I mean, Gibbs White completely lacking in guts, character. For me, should have stood up to Forest if maybe he didn't want to leave. Maybe he was playing Spurs and playing the agent all along to get the contract that he got out of Forest. Maybe it's not Spurs' fault, and maybe it was down to Gibbs White playing the agent. Who knows? Look, but why hang about for 2.5 weeks? I don't get that. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. It all went very quiet, and we didn't hear a thing, did we?
I don't get any of it. Look, when I look at I look at players around Europe, for example. No, sod that. Let's go to Premier League. Look at a Yao Gomez of Wolves.
Yeah.
And I think you massively strengthen our midfield. He's better than any midfielder we've got. Now, listen, he might not be on our radar, but my question is going to be, well, why not? I look at players like Yao Gomez. Why? Man, you go to Wolves, we'll take Cunha. Why can't we go to Wolves? Why can't we go to Wolves and take Yao Gomez? Why can't we go and take Wharton? Now, listen, I know that's a bit more expensive. Why can't we look at these clubs? Why can't we look at these clubs and go, yeah, we want some of your better players? Like, all we've done is gone to West Ham and take Kudus. That's all we've done. It's utterly, utterly embarrassing at this stage. Yep,
it certainly is. Frank, as I said before, Frank must be sitting there thinking, Jesus, what is this? I mean, the backing he got from Brentford was so much better. And the way they probably went about sorting out transfers is so much better. We just don't see year after year this happens. You know, you go back, and I know people will turn around and say, "Oh, it's the last century, Lubo, and things have changed." But you know, we went and got Klinsmann under Sugar. So, you know, and we just finished 14th in the league, and we went and got Klinsmann. We lost the semi-final, I think, and finished 12th. I think it was 14th in 93, 94 when Klinsmann came, 94, 95. We were nowhere the previous year, absolutely nowhere. When we got Klinsmann, we had Sheringham there. You know, people talk about the 90s being crap. We went and got Les Ferdinand later on after Newcastle. And he actually was quoted as saying that as soon as he got to Spurs, he realised he'd made a big mistake, again, because of the lack of ambition.
It's just...
Unfortunately, you know, you look at it and we got, I mean, between 60 and 91, between 61 and 91, in those 31 seasons, we got 11 trophies. 12 trophies. 12. Was it 12? Yeah, it was 12 trophies up in those 30 years. Then we got one in the next day under Sugar. That's crap. And then 2 in 25 under Levy. So we got 3 in 33 years. So all gone wrong since Scholars left. You know, we were buying Gascoigne, Lineker, Waddle. We got, look at all the players we've got.
No. Look, it's comments like this. So he's saying, dude, you're talking like the window's closed. They're making bids behind the scenes. Like, I mean, Lubo, how long can we hear this line about behind the scenes? Right? We're on tour. Reese, we're on tour. Like, they should be there. We play Arsenal Thursday. We play Newcastle Sunday. I can guarantee you there will not be another new player on tour by Sunday. Do you agree with me, Lubo?
I doubt there'll be someone ready for on tour. We might have bought somebody, but they won't be out in the Far East. I wouldn't have thought. If we buy anyone in the next week, they'll join up with the squad in Germany for the Munich match. But
Reece, you're now trolling. I laughed at the report of Rodrigo. Of course I did. I think most sensible human beings laughed at the thought that we were going to be the club that signed Rodrigo. Is that fair, Lubo? We're not getting Rodrigo. He's wanted by like Liverpool. He's wanted by... What are we doing here? Look, I just... All it took, 2 more senior pros to take on tour. Get them initiated into the first 11. We couldn't even do that. Takai's injured. He's not even going on the bloody tour.
No.
It's, you know, we've got Scarlett and Divine going on loan again, Lubo. Again. At what point are we going to turn around and go, right, Scarlett and Devine are not going to make it at Tottenham Hotspur. Let's find them a move away from the club permanently.
It doesn't look like it. Abbott's moved in front of Devine. Donnelly's in front of Devine. Just to use two kids coming back on loan that weren't part of the first team last season. So, for me, if I was Devine, if I was Scarlett, I think I'd be looking for a move, not a loan. I'd be looking for a permanent move. Where you can be you're guaranteed. You're starting a career again. Their careers are going nowhere at Spurs. So, I'm delighted Abbott and Donnelly are in the squad. Hopefully these are two kids that will make some sort of difference that can make a contribution to the squad. But we need 4 established players now for the first team. That's what we need. We're 4 players short. We need a left back. Udog is injury prone. It just picks up injuries all the time.
But what move have we made to get another left back?
Go to Fulham and buy Robinson.
Right. But when you suggest that, oh no, he can't play in front of a Doge. Get me Robinson, and get him in that team, and let a Dogie fight for his position.
Yeah, absolutely. People don't realise that. We should have 2 players of that quality in each position. We should start singing Daydream Believing. Absolutely, Craig. Absolutely. It's wait and see what happens. God forbid, if we turn up and we lose to Burnley, how toxic it's going to be.
Yeah, listen, Manny, but by the way, listen, I didn't blame him for the Morgan Gibbs-White situation, but the more we hear about it, the more apparent. Again, I don't know, but apparently we didn't hit the release. I don't know what's going on there. All I care about is, right? All I care about is, like you said there, is that we've dipped in the market. Oh, sorry, the fact that we haven't actually dipped into the market, right, in the last 2 weeks. I don't think this is that difficult, Lubo. If Spurs went out right now, got Yao Gomez in midfield, Anthony Robinson at left back, right, and somebody like a Matoma or a Grealish on the left side, suddenly our 11 looks a lot stronger.
Absolutely.
Right, this shouldn't be that difficult. Other clubs are not finding it this difficult.
As I say, we don't operate like a proper football team. It's funny you mentioned about. I'll just pull you up on one thing that you said before, Sam, about the other year. We didn't have European football, but the operating profit the last 2 years at the club have been 138 and 144 million. So they've made a 282 million operating profit between July 22 and June 24.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about without the Europe is attracting players, Lubo. I'm talking about the attraction of players. You've got to be, Man U can get away with it. They're Man United. They don't need Europe. Tottenham to attract players. We can't even attract them when we're in the Champions League, let alone when we're not. That was my point.
Well, the worrying thing is you've got someone like, and maybe it is lack of ambition with Gibbs-White. Maybe he's scared shitless of his chairman. I don't know, but you've got to question when someone like Gibbs-White is turning down the chance to come to a club like Tottenham with Champions League football.
I don't think he has, but has he though? This is that we keep saying that. See, the rhetoric now is that he's turned us down. The deal's not on the table for him to accept.
If that's the case, then that's the case.
So this is what I don't understand. Everyone and I'm going to talk to Stella about this tonight. Stella was saying, "Oh, Gibbs-White turned us down. Cunha turned us down." I'm like, hang on, are we just making things up? When did Gibbs-White turn us down? Gibbs-White was ready to come to Tottenham for a medical and agree personal terms. It's Marinakis that wouldn't let him come. Cunha, we weren't in for Cunha. We weren't in for Mbeumo. We can't just pretend these players have turned us down when they haven't, can we?
No, we can't. Listen, I'd just be very interested to hear what happened. It just seems, if you look at it logically, if Spurs had done nothing wrong, and if they had triggered the release clause, then surely by law, under the terms of the contract, Forest cannot play Gibbs-White in matches. If Spurs have, and the money is being put into a solicitor's escrow account to be released subject to a medical. So that couldn't have been the
That's
case.
why there's more to this story than we know.
There is a lot more
There's
to
more
it.
to it.
And
there's more to it.
Depending on where the club stands, how do we know whether they're making bids behind the scenes? How do we know? We're hoping. Hopefully they are. Hopefully something will come up. But for me, if we get one player, maybe, possibly, I don't know. I've sort of lost heart with Spurs. It's, I'm sort of, maybe I'll go the way I do because it's out of habit. I don't know. But it's just a horrendous situation now.
But by the way, Dave, listen, I'm just talking as minimums, mate. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I'm talking as minimums. If you've got Kudus, let's just say Kudus, Robinson, Yao Gomez on the plane, I'm a lot happier, right? That at least we've signed 3 first-team starters. That's my point. Listen, for me, we should have 5 first-team starters on that plane. For me, we've got to look and say, as much as I didn't like Ange, everything at Spurs wasn't on Ange. The tactics, I didn't like. I didn't like his management, sure. But you've still got to look and say, this team needs a lot of work. Yes, Frank will coach. Yes, Frank will have us higher up the table. Yes, we won't be as bad at the back. But it doesn't mean we don't need better players. You're right. You're 100% right. What we are embarrassing at right now is the number of likes. There's 899 of you in here and 261 likes. And only 1 new subscriber throughout the show. That's awful conversion rates and sub rates. Please do smash the subscribe button. We're nearly at 20,100. We're nearly at 100 already. So please smash that button. And Ash, as you said, the Rodrigo link was dismissed by journalists. Ash, this is where I find it comical. Me saying I want Spurs to act like a proper club, people then going, oh, well, you should want Rodrigo. Sure. I want Mbappe. It doesn't mean it's happening, right? It's let's use some sort of common sense here. Big up to you, Ash. And I'll tell you what, Sue, if we are bidding behind the scenes, then surely everyone's rejecting us because we've seen nothing come out in the public. Other than Kudus and Gibbs-White, have you seen anything, Lubo, that is definitive that we have bid for a footballer? Bid, not interested, not monitoring.
No,
not one player.
No, nothing. It's mind blowing, really. I feel so sorry for Frank. You got to give him the tools to work with. There you go. Listen, it's
mad.
If he goes in with this squad, we're mid-table. I think we're mid-table.
I think we're mid-table with this squad because we're balancing the Champions League. If we were going in with this squad and we didn't have European football, I would say fine, top 7. Right? I think we can get top 7. But as I keep saying, the Champions League games, we can't rotate for them the way you rotate for Europa.
No, you can't. And the other clubs that will be around us, like Brighton, Forest, Villa, Newcastle, they're all strengthening. They will strengthen. We bought Kudus, Newcastle have bought Elanga. So we're fairly evens in terms with Newcastle. Villa, I think, may have, without Champions League football, Villa may well need to start selling players first before they buy.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. A lot happens in 2 weeks.
A lot happens in 2 weeks, Stephen. Listen, I've sat here and said it. Listen, it was about 20 days ago, right? I sat here and I said, wow, Kudus and Gibbs-White in 24 hours. We're moving different. Gibbs-White didn't materialise. Since then, Stephen, nothing's materialised. Listen, I can only be optimistic if I'm seeing optimistic things. Listen, I'm not saying you're having a pop at me, but I don't know what I'm meant to do. Am I meant to look at the last 2 weeks, Stephen, and go, yeah, I'm really happy with what's going on in Spurs transfer world? There are players everywhere, Lubo. There are players everywhere. And there are players moving every day. And we're not in, try and get Arden Jashari. AC Milan, Keep
What a
putting in
great
bids.
buy who would be. How
Well,
good would that be?
AC Milan keep putting in bids that Club Brugge reject. Go in, 45 million euros, get him in, watch him revolutionise our midfield. For anyone that don't know him, watch him, right? No, nowhere to be seen. Sesko, nowhere to be seen. Anthony Robinson, nowhere to be seen. I could pluck players all day long. Nowhere to be seen on any of these players.
Nothing's changing. Nothing's changed until it changes.
I've heard all window. Spurs are monitoring Calamundo. All right. Monitoring what? If you want him, he's going to cost you about 35 million euros. Go and get him. That should be a deal, Lubo. Let's use him for example. He plays for Rennes, right?
Yeah.
Calamundo. He's about 35 million pounds. That should be a deal that Tottenham could wrap up in, should wrap up in 48 hours. That should be an absolute no-brainer, easy deal to wrap up. We've heard about Paulinho. We've heard about Zabanyi. We've heard about Grealish. We've heard about Believer.
So it's, for me, it's not about wrapping something up in 48 hours because Cunha and Buemo took 6 weeks. Gyökeres took 5 weeks, I think, with Arsenal. Declan Rice.
Yeah, but the season's about to start now. We don't have that. We don't have that time, Lubo.
No. I just want people through the door, to be honest. We don't work that way. We don't swoop in and get players signed back, bish bash bong, as you said. And done.
No, my point is, Lubo, no, you're missing the point. You're doing what the chat do. I'm not saying every deal has to be wrapped up in 48 hours. But my point is, if Chelsea right now went in for Calamundo, how quickly are Chelsea wrapping up that deal?
Yeah. Where is Paratici? Where is Paratici? That's what I want to ask. Lange, obviously, is just not up to it. He's just not up to it.
He's not up to it. This is awful.
I think
we're moving like a bottom half team.
We are a bottom half team. Let's not forget that. We are a bottom half team.
But we're not in terms of, in the bigger picture, we've been a bottom half team once in about 25 years, right? But we're moving.
In terms of ownership and how they look on the football, we are a bottom half team.
Yeah, but mate, I don't know, man. I'm so deflated. I'm not expecting miracles.
Let's see.
I'm not expecting miracles. Exactly. Like Ben said, forgetting Morgan Gibbs-White. Why can't we do more than one deal at a time? Why weren't we, whilst doing all this crap with Morgan Gibbs-White, why are we not doing something over here with Paulinho and something over here with, I'm just using names now, Anthony Robinson? Why are we not doing these things?
If you take what the press have been reporting at face value, if there is any strength in what the press have been reporting about Paulinho, and I think Bayern Munich dropped their fee. I mean, they paid 48 million a year ago. Was it a year ago or 2 years? A year ago they bought Paulinho.
Last year, Paulinho went there.
They paid 48 million to Fulham. They dropped the fee, I think, to 25 to try and get him moved. Where are you? Spurs are trying to get him on loan rather than pay 25 million pounds for a player like Paulinho. And I saw a comment on here about Rodrigo for 90 million euros, which is about 75 million pounds. Does anybody seriously think Spurs will go and spend 75 on Rodrigo when they won't even pay 25 for Paulinho? Yeah, what we doing?
I get people messaging me going, just go and get Wharton. Sorry. People think we're going to pay 90 million quid for Adam Wharton. I don't understand.
Parish, 100. He wants Declan Rice money. Spurs are going to pay 105 million for Adam Wharton. I was reading on a WhatsApp group. No, 70 million. What a load of crap. God, what a load of rubbish. I don't know where people get this rubbish from. 70 million. Parish fights fiercely for his players. He's like Marinakis.
I agree, man. I mean, look, let me do some super chats. By the way, you guys tight today on the likes. One subscriber and only 302 likes. There's 908 people in here. Come on, people. 1 in 3. Come on, let's get that to half at least. Do I think that Kudus is regretting his decision? Well, Kudus must be looking around and going, all right, is anyone else joining? Are we doing? You could see him linking up with players at the weekend, not getting the ball back. You could see him getting visibly frustrated. He beat the press. He beat 3 men. Kudus was excellent at this. He gets the ball. He's strong. He drives and he turns. 3 players out the game, lays it off to somebody like Tell or Johnson, and all they do is go, oh, I don't know what to do. All right, foot on the ball, backwards, 5 yards pass. And Kudus is running, going, come on, like we're on the attack. We're on the attack. Like, honestly, he'll get frustrated. He'll get frustrated.
So I'm just seeing Kudos, 11:49. Lubo, you sound like a broken record. But I'm right though, aren't I? I might sound like a broken record. Tell me I'm wrong. Just give me any evidence that I'm talking nonsense. Come on.
Well, let me do some super chats. Big up. Listen, a broken record is a broken record. If it's right, it's right. Big up to Guinness Guru. Said, how many unwanted players on that plane? Shameful. Mate, when I look at that squad on the plane, we'll look at it again in a second, it's just so... Listen, as I said, without Champions League, I'm saying 7th. 1 game a week, I'm saying 7th. And everyone keeps reminding me, remember Ange finished 5th. Yeah, we have 1 game a week. Since then, we've got Europe, and Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, they've all strengthened. These clubs are strengthening. Forest have strengthened. Brighton have strengthened. Big up to you. I agree with you, Guinness Guru. Big up to Martin, who said, honestly, I can't see us winning any of the 4 games. Look, I'll be honest. My big concern right now isn't whether we beat Newcastle, Bayern Munich, or Arsenal in pre-season. That's not my concern. My concern is, where are the players joining them on pre-season?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There was some good comments coming through. No European football from Kicks TV. No European football next season will devalue the club. Lucky to get 3 billion now, valued at about 3.5. If we get CL next 2 seasons, near maybe 4 billion. Makes no sense to not invest. The problem is they have the money to invest. They choose not to. They choose. This is their club. They can do what they want with it. But
I'm doing my super chats. I'm in the middle of doing my super chats.
Sorry.
I'm in the middle of doing my bloody super chats.
There wasn't a super chat out there when I started. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. Don't worry.
Sorry.
Big up to you, Martin.
Going on here, guys.
I'll talk to Lubo in a second about this, but I think he'll agree with me. Whilst it'll be nice to beat Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and Newcastle, surely the bigger issue at hand is, what are we doing in the transfer window? Big up to you, Martin. Big up to the Sheriff. Big up to you, mate. Said Levy out must always be top of the agenda. Big up to you, and thank you for being thank you for being a member for 18 months. Really appreciate you, my man. And thank you for getting lost on the way to my house. That was very, very funny. Big up to you. Big up Tony Rodriguez. Always in it. Always generous. Really appreciate that. Much love. Take care. Thank you very much. And, Tony, I just wish one day you'd watch me and we'd have some good news to talk about. Big up to you, my man. Paul Watkins. Thank you, Paul. Very generous. Said, Savva, Lubo, we're a joke. It's simple. Enoch out. Well, I was told it was changing. It's not changing, is it? It just looks worse and worse and worse. Who's at my front door? Please don't ring. Good. Worse and worse and worse as we go. Big up, Paul. Really appreciate that. Rob Welsh. Thank you very much, Rob. I said we cannot get players out of Palace or Forest, but people think we'll sign Rodrigo from Real Madrid. Come on, people. There's levels. Rob, this is what I mean. In any of my rants, you've seen me. I never go unrealistic. I never pluck unrealistic. When people say, go and make a bid for Frankie de Jong. Yeah, sure. Go and make a bid for Josh Kimmich. Sure. Go and make a bid for... None of that. I want sensible footballers. I want the Yao Gomez's. I want the Anthony Robinsons. I want sensible footballers. Big up, Rob. Thank you very much. Rodney, my man, Rodney Roberts. Big up to you. Said, I've got to say, big up Sunderland, making moves. They ain't come up to just make up the numbers. What are we doing here? Well, the What Are We Doing Here podcast is tonight at 6 p.m. And I've got a feeling Percy's going to get some shit off his chest. But you're right. I look at Sunderland and I look at them buying better than what they've got. Fair play, making moves. Now, will it guarantee them safety? No, but they're giving it a bloody good go. And I've got nothing but respect for the Sunderland owners and director of football and manager for putting that in place. Big up to you, Rodney. Strasbourg, Steve, my man. We're going to do something this week. We're going to do a show together this week. Said Newcastle and Spurs, awful summer windows. Big up. Steve, yeah, not been good for either of our clubs. However, if you guys get Sesko, maybe a Wissa, plus the £150 million for Isak, I think you'll buy a few more. I bet you have a better window than us. Big up, Steve. Love you, dude. Thank you very much, man. Big up, Rick. Said, I feel your pain. Now we need to start praying. I think we're beyond praying, mate. I think we're beyond praying. No, there's no football god that's going to listen to us praying. We're going to pray to a football god, and the football god's going to look down at us and go, nah, sorry, mate, you've got Enoch in charge. Big up to you, Rick. Really appreciate that. Big up to Shane Bapu, who said, ready for Gyökeres on Thursday. Yeah, look, if Gyökeres does play a part, we know he's a good goal scorer. I don't think this is about... I know we're going to put emphasis on this game. I'll start off by talking about this, Lubo. I know we're going to put so much emphasis on this because it is Arsenal on Thursday. But for me, this is not the big issue at the club at the moment. That result, that game is not the big issue for me at this club. Is that fair?
No, it's all about... Pre-season is all about being ready for August the 16th when we kick off at 3 o'clock against Burnley. It's all that counts. Getting players in legs, playing patterns... partnerships. It's not even about the results. The results are great. They're good for confidence. You don't want to get battered every game, obviously. But the most important thing is getting a bonding, getting the team gelling. Sav, can I just ask, just come back? Tom Robinson, 11:53. Does Lubo want us to have cheaters as owners like City and Chelsea? Right, putting City to one side, there's a case going on with 105, 115, isn't it? Possible crimes there. Chelsea. Let me ask you a question, Tom. They got 19 trophies, I think. They won 19 trophies in the 19 years that Abramovich was there. Would you have rather had a period like that under Abramovich, or would you rather had a period like we've had under Enoch? Simple question. I know what I would rather have had. And I've got to tell you something, when the TV cameras, when Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012, I think it was, when they beat Bayern Munich in the Allianz on penalties, and about 30 seconds after the final whistle, the cameras turned on Abramovich, and the pure joy in his face just meant so much to him as a chairman. And our chairman's miles, he's a lifetime away from that. So yes, I'd rather have what Chelsea fans have had for the last 22 years. Anything is better than what we're going through. Because having a great club with great history and traditions, and just seeing the way the football side is neglected is purgatory for all of us, including yourself. Surely you can't be happy with what you're watching. I'm not.
I just don't get it. Are we saying, for example, if Aramco took us over, that is oil money, does anyone care? Does anyone deep down, does anyone really truly give a shit? Look, questions have got to be asked about Lang in all of this as well. Questions have got to be asked about Vinay. Questions have got to be asked about Levy. I just don't understand what's their aim for this season. What do they possibly think Thomas Frank can do this year? What is it that people think he can do this year? What's the bare minimum for him in your opinion, Lubo, this year? Because people are going to go, oh, 4th, 5th. This club is nowhere near 4th, 5th. Nowhere. Like last week when Sean and Stell were saying, oh, we could possibly finish 4th, 5th, one of these clubs. What? We're miles off it. We are buying crap like Tell. How we are miles off it, mate. Miles.
We got a 17-year-old kid who's better than Tell, who hasn't even been put on the plane.
Who? Moore?
Thompson.
Oh, Thompson.
Looks better than Tell. Drops his shoulders, going around. He's going around players for fun. I know it's only a League One club. Why isn't he on the plane? There's plenty of kids on that plane. Why isn't he on there? Don't know.
I want to be positive. You know, like when people are, oh, Savva is so negative. Lubo, I want to come on stream and go, yep, we just signed Anthony Robinson. Yep, we've just signed Gomez. Yep, we've just signed Callum. I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. I really do, Lubo. But at the moment, this is as bad as I remember it from the point of view that there's no excuses now. Do you know what I mean? There's no excuses. We've been in the stadium for years. We've got Champions League football. We've won a European trophy. Yeah. There's no excuses right now. Zero. Nada.
Bryce, change for Tottenham are serious. I'm sure there'll be a protest early on in the season. I think after Bilbao, probably everybody thought that change for Tottenham was finished. You know, Spurs had won a trophy. Vinay was in. You know, everybody thought we were going to go big in the transfer window now, bring in players. You know, we got Frank in, and you think to yourself, he's got a really good manager here. This guy overachieved massively at Brentford, massively. They were once in the relegation zone in 4 years. How many teams I don't think any other team that's come up in the last, God knows, 20 years can actually say that, probably, maybe one or two. And you thought to yourself, Levy will pull out all the stops now. He'll see, you know, he saw the outpouring of emotion and passion in Bilbao. At the parade, 220,000 turned up with, you know, less than 48 hours after Bilbao. We have an amazing fan base that don't deserve the shit that our owners are giving us. And you would have actually thought that Enoch would have said to himself, do you know what? Look at this. We've got a monster here. We can actually even if keep taking it back to money, Enoch should have looked at that and thought, you know, we can earn an absolute fortune here. We just stretch ourselves. We've got a really good manager here, not one that got lucky. It's who, you know, one by playing. It's not who we are, mates. We've got a proper coach now, and hopefully Frank will exceed a lot of people's expectations, because unfortunately it's turned into an Ange be Frank load of shit, and everybody should just get behind the club, regardless of who the manager is at this stage. No, not interested. Look at the transfer window up to now.
Danny, look at your phone. Danny, look at your mobile phone.
Danny's leaving in. Is Danny leaving in?
Danny's leaving in these days, yeah.
Danny's leaving in. I'd be interested to hear what he's got to say at the moment.
He's got something different to say. Oh.
He started supporting Arsenal. What do you reckon? Do you reckon he's become a Gooner overnight?
I reckon Danny's an Arsenal fan now.
Do you reckon he's an Arsenal fan? Let's see if he comes on and says anything.
I think the key thing for me here is this. Right? The key thing is this. I have to keep stressing this. I'm not asking for superstars. I'm not asking the club to do anything unrealistic. I'm not asking to compete with City and Chelsea for players that they spend 400 grand a week on or whatever. I'm not asking for that. But there's no way anyone is looking at this. Let's bring it up. There's no way anyone is looking at this and saying that's Champions League.
It's a mid-table team. It's a mid-table squad. That's what it is.
I think once a week with Udogie and Kulu added to that, once a week, I think it's a decent team that can cope. Twice a week with Champions League, it's going to get annihilated. This needs 4 new additions.
Yep.
4.
I think we all agree on that. You need a left back, you need a 6, you need an 8. In fact, maybe not an 8. You probably need more like.
I think we need a 6 and an 8. Honestly, mate, this is not a good set of midfielders.
Well, I'll say this till you need a left winger, Sav. You need a left winger and a striker. Yep. So that's 5, not 4. I was trying to work out which are the 4 priorities, but we need 5. That shows you, doesn't it?
Can you just calm down?
Simple. We've got our Tottenham back. That's. I just feel that, you know, we're seeing football that we used to see, and
when he leaves, we. There you go. Check-ins roll. When he leaves, when in Excel, we'll have our Tottenham back. Hopefully, we won't have our Tottenham back till they go. Just appalling.
Big up. I am the realist. Thank you. I'll let you off for all the capital letters. Yeah, I am. My club doesn't deserve me. Just kidding. Listen, HA, I said this 2 weeks ago when Hatto and Simmons were linked with Chelsea. Said, does anyone actually believe that they won't get either of these players? When did Chelsea really fumble a deal? Honestly, how many deals have Chelsea? I mean, I'm asking now. People might remind me of a few. When was the last time Chelsea were in talks with someone, right? And then it went, oh, they've not been able to agree terms or blah, blah. This is the club that went and got Caicedo from under Liverpool's nose, right? This is a proper football club that care about football. Their owners, look how their owners have been mocked, Lubo, for 2 years. They don't know football, their strategy. Look at them. Chelsea are building a good squad. Some of those youngsters they bought a few years ago are now developing nicely. Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Gusto, Cucurella.
I heard from Chelsea fans that the first year he was there, Bowley thought he could come in and run it like an American sports club. But he learned very quickly, and he's in tune now with what's going on. They've got good people. They've got a recruitment team of 4 people globally that work together and are searching the whole globe for players. And look at their recruitment compared to ours. They do get things wrong. I think Neto for them, I don't think was a good buy. It's a good player, injury prone.
I reckon he has a much better year this year. I thought he started to get good towards the end.
Wasn't a success last year. Will he get in? You know.
Well, but they got options, right? You've got Pedro, you've got Neto, you've got Nkunku, you've got Palmer, you're going to have Xavi Simmons, you've got Bino Gittins, you've got Delap, you've got Jackson. They've just got options. We've got Tell, Odeber, Johnson, Son, who is gone. Like, this is the levels are frightening. The levels are absolutely frightening. And this is a team that, if you remember, a few years ago, we finished above 2 seasons ago. Yeah.
Sammy Mehmet, I saw the report today. Spurs are looking at Gabriel Jesus. No, thank you.
Never. That's never going to happen. Even Spurs won't get Jesus after Arsenal, surely.
Nothing's passed out. Nothing is off limits with our lot. Sorry,
I'll tell you what, David. If Spurs went and got Nico Gonzalez from Man City on loan, don't know if he's available, he would completely transform our midfield.
Go and buy them. Why on loan? Buy him.
Well, I don't. Well, they've just bought him. I'm just saying, whatever. Either way, if Spurs got a Nico Gonzalez sitting in midfield pulling strings, you'd see a hell of a different football team. But we don't look at players like this. There's players like Nico Gonzalez all over Spain, by the way. Watch the Spanish teams play. They've got quality midfielders like this all over all the clubs. But where are we? When was the last time we scouted someone from Spain? Does anyone know? Was it Hill?
Yeah.
Maybe Dan Juma from Villarreal. Like, when do we go and get a classy central midfielder from a Villarreal, a Valencia, a Celta Vigo? Do you know what I mean? When do we go and get one of these players? We just don't do it.
No.
We just don't do it. We are so bad at this. Like, so bad, Lubo.
I shudder to think how this season's going to turn out if it carries on like this. I really do. Maybe they'll surprise us.
They've got to surprise us. They've got to surprise us.
You can't expect Frank to work miracles. He'll improve us. We won't finish 17th, but you'll look at it. Maybe we'll finish 10th, and then people will say, "Well, that's no good." Well, it's an improvement on 17th. What do people expect from this squad? I don't get it. Do they? Sorry,
I expect that this squad will be top half. I do. I expect it to be top half, right? At the moment,
don't have a clinical finisher.
Nope.
Sonny could well go. That's 20 plus goals, assists that we lose straight away. I don't know where are the goals going to come from. Hopefully Kudos will improve that. But if you're talking about competing with, we're miles behind Newcastle and Villa. They may not have bought anybody at this stage.
But other than maybe Isak going, and they're going to replace him with someone like Sesko.
Yeah,
Villa haven't lost anyone, have they?
Don't think so at the moment. I mean, mind you, it's funny. The reports United were talking to Watkins, so
I can't see Villa letting Watkins go. I can't see it. Only if they've got a replacement. I can't see it. But you're right. We're behind them. We're behind them.
So we've got to catch up. We've got to catch up. We've got to buy enough players so we can catch these clubs who are 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
Here you go, Ben Jacobs. Newcastle have told Leipzig they are prepared to pay over the 60 million for Benjamin Sesko. No bid yet, as Newcastle wait to see whether Sesko agrees terms. Man United also have Sesko on their radar and talking terms. Johan Wissa still a target, and Nicholas Jackson also discussed by Newcastle. See, this is the difference. Newcastle might lose Isak, but they'll go out and get 2 strikers to replace him.
Yeah.
Now, I get Lubo. I get it.
They're
not going to get
because they've got Callum Wilson as well as backup. So
no, Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson went ages ago.
No, but they haven't replaced him, so they need to replace Wilson and Isak now.
Sure, but my point is, you can't replace an Isak like for like you can't replace a Kane like for like. But if they turn around and get Sesko and Jackson or Sesko and Wissa, you're adding goals. You're making up for his goals with 2 players. But I at the moment I can't see how we catch up with Newcastle, and they're not even having a good year. I can't see how we catch up with them and Villa.
So if they get Sesko, they'll have Elanga and Gordon on both wings.
Yep.
Plus Harvey Barnes.
Yep. Plus Jacob Murphy. Yeah, and then up front they'll have what? Sesko
and Wissa
and Ursula, the young kid Ursula, who they're all raving about. I don't know. And listen, Harvey Barnes. This is the sad thing about it. Harvey Barnes, who is their second choice left winger, is better than any of our first choice left wingers. Let that sink in, right? I'm not even talking Lubo. I could have gone straight to Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon gets injured. Harvey Barnes comes in. Harvey Barnes is better than Tell, better than Hill, better than Solomon. At the moment, better than this version of Son.
I think we've got problems.
What about Tony? What about going and getting a Tony?
I mentioned that the other week. Why not get Tony?
See if he wants to come back to the UK. I know he's probably not going to because of the wages and stuff, but listen, the point is, Lubo, there's footballers all over the world and we're doing nothing. Get them in. Tell the others, you are not going to be registered. You are not going to be registered. Find another club in the next month.
It's not how we do things.
I know, but
we get shot first. We get rid first, and then we bring someone in, if we can get them in. Who's coming on? Is this?
It's meant to be Danny Kiriakou, but there he is, Danny.
I thought it was Lee Gunner.
Nkosi, Savva hated who? Who did Savva hate? Who did Savva hate? Danny, how you doing, bro?
I'm right. How are you guys?
Hi, Danny.
Apart from having a complete meltdown by the looks of it.
No, nothing's changed. For me, nothing's changed. It
It
just
doesn't look like that.
carries on.
Oh, yeah, but what I was gonna say is that I've seen it from like a lot of Spurs fans after the Gibbs White stuff. Everyone has literally just had an absolute mare, and they're having a complete meltdown. Oh look, it's been taken 2 weeks. We haven't got targets. All this kind of stuff. To me, right? I don't know why anyone should let that get to them to the point where they're just frustrated. They feel annoyed. They feel angry. It's like, why? Because if you're saying nothing's changed, then why are you getting yourself riled up if nothing has changed? I don't understand it, right? I see so many Spurs fans on streams and stuff like that who are like, oh, we should have got him. We can't even get Gibbs White or this and that. And look, I'm going to say this as well, right? If anyone thinks Spurs are not looking at other players in the meantime, then all of you have lost your absolute marbles. You're all delusional. You all don't live in reality. And I personally think that if it comes to the end of the window and it's exactly how it is right now, then you can sit here and say, well, nothing's changed, truly changed, right? When you say nothing's changed in the fact that we haven't gone and got all of our players before a preseason tour. Yes, but when has that ever happened for Spurs? Never, right? Never, ever, ever has it ever happened under Daniel Levy, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that do people really expect Daniel Levy to change? Maybe there's more hope because of what's been said by himself and by what the rumors are and all this kind of stuff. But look, the fact of the matter is, right? The fact of the matter is that until, like all of you have said, I've heard every single YouTuber and streamer say it, until we see them holding the shirt, then we can see if the actual change has actually happened, right? Until then, I don't sit here and get like worked up the fact that Morgan Gibbs White hasn't signed or this.
But Danny, this isn't about Morgan Gibbs White. So Danny, so you see when you sit there and you say,
yeah, but you're saying it based on everything that's happening right now, right, at Spurs, because we haven't got any other players in.
Danny, come on, listen, right? This isn't about Morgan Gibbs White per se. This is about since that scenario happened for the last 18 days. Tottenham haven't done anything. Now, when you're saying, we're all delusional if we don't think we're talking to players, isn't that the point that we're bored of? If we're talking to players, why are other clubs able to talk to them but actually make bids and sign them?
But this is the thing. It's all assumptions. Everyone talks like they know what's going on inside the club. They know exactly what they're talking about, right?
Right now, the evidence is...
Let's talk
Danny,
facts.
hang on. Right now...
What's the facts then, Lubo?
Hang on. Right now, Danny, the evidence is, when you're saying everyone's saying it, blah, blah, right now, who's come through the door? Which first-team players come through the door?
Kudus.
Right. Okay. So right now, factually, we are all right. Right now, they might be talking to players in the background.
Yeah.
But why are the Chelseas, the Liverpools, the Cities, the blah, blah, Newcastle are talking to players? So now they might not, they might not be getting them over the line. They're bidding. So they've got to the stage where they're bidding for players. And what are we doing?
Yeah, but the thing is, right, I'll give you the exact example, right? No one knew we were going to get Gibbs White or even go for him. So literally within a day, it was like Tottenham are interested in Gibbs White. Then within 2 days or a day or later, here we go, right? That's the prime example of
but that's
why
the point. You're backing my point up.
No, I'm not, Sav. Because what I'm trying to tell you is, no. Listen to what I'm going to say, okay? What I'm saying is that we did not know, the public did not know that we were interested in him. And within a day, we had hit the release clause, right? So why can that not happen again for another player?
Danny, you're Danny,
basing this.
You're not listening.
Hold on. But I'm saying you're basing this on the fact that the public do not see what is going on.
You're not listening. Danny, you're not listening.
I'm listening very well, Sam.
Danny, I agree with everything you've just said. The point is, it's the 28th of July. Show me it. It's the 28th of July.
Okay,
fans,
does it matter, Sav? Has the window finished?
No, but Danny, this is where it does matter.
Has the window finished?
Danny, it does matter. If this was, if that sentence, you know, when I'll call it out, Danny, when fans say dumb shit like "has the window finished," right? Please never work at a professional football club. That's not what.
That's the
Danny,
truth.
let me finish. Right? If this theory was right, but the window's not finished. Why have Arsenal got all their players in? Why are Chelsea brought in 6-7 players? Why have City
Because they work differently to Daniel Levy does.
Okay, Danny, so you're missing the point of what we're saying, right? No one's saying the window is finished. But when people say things like the window's not shut, we're on tour. These are the games where you integrate your new players.
Sav, you're telling me something like I don't know this.
I'm not, Danny, I'm not. But this is why the argument of the window's not shut yet.
But Sav,
Danny, let me finish a sentence, mate. Danny, let me finish a sentence, right? You've come on here, almighty big bollocks. I'll call you out for this shit. You've come
mighty
on
big bollocks about what?
No, you've come on here.
About what? I'm telling you a fact. I'm telling you a
sentence. Let me finish a sentence.
You're saying it's big bollocks. It's nothing to do with big bollocks.
Danny,
Savva.
shut up and let me finish a sentence.
I'll let you finish, and then I'm going to rebuttal that because I know exactly what I'm going to say.
If you shut the fuck up, I might get a sentence.
Wait, hold on.
Danny.
Don't get fucking rude, Savva, because I'll get fucking rude with you, right?
I've muted him because he won't let me finish a sentence. Danny, let me finish a fucking sentence, mate.
Yeah, but
let me finish a sentence.
Up, right? I'll let you finish, but don't fucking swear at me because I'll fucking swear at you.
You're going to do nothing, mate. Shut up, right? You're going to do nothing, mate. You don't scare me. You're not scary in any way, shape, or form. All right?
Who said I'm scary? I'm saying don't be fucking rude.
You've come on here giving it the big bollocks about, you
nothing to do with big bollocks. You just don't like my opinion. That's the facts.
Let me finish.
I'll let you finish that, but don't be fucking rude.
I'll do what I want. You come on here.
Right, don't be rude. If you be rude, I'll be fucking rude.
Brilliant. I've got to mute you if you don't let me finish a sentence. I've got to mute you. If you do not let me finish my next sentence, I'm going to mute you. This is ridiculous. You've come on here talking about, well, you lot are all stupid if you don't think we're talking to players. No one said we're not. But the point is, nothing's materializing. Nothing is materializing. I don't care if we didn't know that Gibbs White was trying to happen. But in the nearly 3 weeks since that, nothing factually has happened. So all of this, we're working in the dark, we're talking to people. If you don't think they're talking to to footballers, then we're dumb. No one thinks that. But when does the talking stop and the action take place? And all of this, the window's not shut. That's my point. Start acting like a proper club that get the players in, get them on tour, get them integrated with their teammates, give the new manager the best possible chance to get these players integrated. So all of this, the window's not finished, right? What will happen is the same people that say this sort of shit say things like, you got to remember he didn't have a pre-season. Well, yeah, because fans were happy that, don't worry, the window's not shut. Get them in.
It's two different arguments you're talking about, right? It's two different things you're talking about.
If a player is an opportunistic signing in the last week of the window, fine. But Spurs have had all summer leading up to this tour. I don't want to hear that we're talking to people in the darkness. I don't want to hear that something might just happen like that. We are now going to not have any new players other than Kudus on a pre-season tour, and then bang, it's PSG. That is not what we want, is it?
Right. You mentioned two different points, right? The first one I'm going to say is why, again, it comes back to my original point, which is the reason why I came on, right? Why are fans getting worked up? Because this is exactly how Tottenham have operated the last 15 years under Daniel Levy. I sit here, Lubo saying it, he's getting annoyed that we haven't pre-planned or we haven't prepared before pre-season, but Spurs do this every year. So I'm at the point, Savva, where I don't care when a player comes in anymore. I've told you this, right? Yeah, you do, but what I'm saying is people are getting worked up by it, right? Because we haven't done what we should always do every season, which we never do, which is to get players in before pre-season tour. But we never do it. We never, ever do it. Daniel Levy and the board and whoever is there have not had the ambition to say, I know, let's do what the manager says. Every single manager that we employ, why don't we get them in before pre-season starts so then we can have a full training summer with the new players? But no, we never do that. Right? We never do that. So what I'm saying is, right, it doesn't matter for me anymore because
For you, maybe. Some of us, it does.
That's fine. That's fine. But the thing is, it doesn't. I'm being realistic based on how Daniel Levy runs his club. Because let me ask you a question, Sav. Is Daniel Levy going to change his ways? Lubo, is he going to change his ways?
But the difference is, we were told this year that Vinay was coming in, Daniel Levy was stepping away. This was
bollocks, in it.
Okay, but Danny, but this is where the hope comes from as a football fan. This is where, and we have to have the hope. So when you're saying, I can't believe everyone's doing this, blah, 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 blah. Danny, when I saw we bid for Gibbs White and Kudus within the same, or get both of the deals over the line 24 hours, I let myself go, things have changed, right? But when the Gibbs White deal didn't materialise, I don't then expect my football club to sit there for 3 weeks doing fuck all, right? Yeah. Now, we can say, it's not in the public. I know. I say that all the time. Not all deals will go on in the public. But the difference is there are clubs operating. There are clubs operating with... I don't see Chelsea going, hang on, Xavi Simons, hold off. We're currently dealing with a Hatto deal.
You said a key word. You said a key word, right? In that sentence you just
Top
used.
clubs.
Well, football club in general.
No,
you said club.
I understand.
Right? Spurs are not a football club. We're not.
I understand that. But
how do you feel about that, Danny?
What?
How do you feel? How do you feel as a fan? How do you feel about that?
I'm exactly how Savva feels, in the sense of protests and stuff like that are not going to work by getting Daniel Levy out, because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter if season ticket holders don't decide to renew their season ticket, because someone else will just pick it up. Doesn't affect their pocket whatsoever. There's 70,000 fans on the waiting list. You could get everyone.
They're all members. They're all members.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Lubo. The fact is, someone will be replaced. A legacy fan will be replaced by a modern fan. That's the reality, right? That is the reality we live in, right? So, if you're talking about how it affects how true change to get the club out, it's not going to happen, because at the end of the day, they're in the driving seat. They're making stupid amounts of money every year now, and they will be, right? They still could make money from stadium rights. They still want investors for the hotel, right? You talk about it all the time, Lubo, right? The women's football pitch, the women's football training academy they're going to build, the golf course that they've got to build stuff on, right? All of this stuff, it's all going to be developed. Even the high road, Tottenham High Road, still going to be developed. Chick King's going to be gone. All of it's going to be done. It's all going to be developed, right?
It's all money that should be going into the first team.
What's that?
It's all money that should be going into the first team.
Yeah, but it never will. So why do people think that we can get Daniel Levy out?
So Danny, do you think everybody should
I agree with you on this, Danny. Levy going nowhere.
He's not going nowhere.
Everybody should be quiet. Everyone should take.
I'm saying that, Lubo. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, right, that no one is going to shift Daniel Levy until him or Joe Lewis decide it's time to sell the club. That's it, right? I've already said this before, and I don't condone it, but the only way Daniel Levy goes is exactly the same way Sugar went. That's the only way he goes. Other than that, you have to wait till he gets bought out. They have to wait to decide.
Danny, do you agree with me on this? I've said this all the way along. By the way, everyone in the chat, relax. Danny and I are cool. But Jesus,
me and Savva, we're very cool.
Calm down, everyone. Listen, calm down.
It's also good for the entertainment as well.
Danny needs to calm down, but yeah, it's good drama. Right. Yeah. This is what I've always said, Danny.
Yeah, go on.
And as much as I don't want Levy here, I've always said they can protest till they're blue in the face. Right? Yeah. Levy. Whether it's Levy, whether it's Enoch, whether it's Charrington, Lewis, they will have an exit plan. They're not going to speed up that exit plan because a few thousand people complain about them. This is my point. This is a 4 billion. If we just go with that number for the moment, this is a 4 billion pound business, right? Yep. They're not going to sell because some fans are unhappy. They've never cared enough. No. I'm purely venting as a football fan. I'm allowed to vent. To vent. I'm frustrated, but I genuinely don't feel that the protest will get them out. And I always ask the question, can anyone tell me when it successfully worked at this level. I'm not talking about Mike Ashley selling Newcastle for 330 million quid, because that's pocket change to these guys. When has it ever worked with any football club worth this money?
To a degree, Man United, they protested.
To a degree, they've still got the same owners.
No, but what they've got
They've got the same owners.
No, they've got Ineos still running the football side.
And look how unhappy all of the Man United fans are.
But why couldn't we? That doesn't mean that whoever comes in and buys, just talking, a 25% stake and then ran the football club, doesn't mean they're going to be as bad as Ineos. You'd hope they'd be a lot better.
You'd hope so, but it's not always the case, is it?
No, it's not a guarantee, you can see with United. But
no.
Listen,
but they built
a business and they killed a football club. They're destroying this football club.
Yeah, definitely. And
destroying it. As a competitive entity, they are destroying this football club.
The thing is, do you know what, Lubo, right? The reason I came on as well is because the thing is, it's not that I don't see what is going on. I just choose not to let it bother me anymore, because I used to get so bothered by the fact that, we haven't signed players and it's the usual fucking same shit with Daniel Levy and all this kind of, it's unnecessary, because I know exactly what's going to happen, right? And not in the sense of who we're going to sign or not, but in sense of that we're just going to come up short. Yeah.
But Danny, this is a fair point, right? Like, when you're going, why does anyone think differently? They did dangle that carrot. We were like,
yeah, of course they did, right?
Kudus and Gibbs White in 24 hours.
Of course they did.
And
it's
just frustrating. I'm just so frustrated.
It is frustrating. It is frustrating, but it's whether you choose to let it frustrate you or not.
Of course.
And of course, don't get me wrong. All Spurs fans would be frustrated by it, because when I first saw the Gibbs White news, I was frustrated too, right? I was quite annoyed, but the truth is, it's kind of like, it's expected. And you know I heard you say it earlier on, Sav, about that we didn't hit the certain, what was it, targets of the
release clause.
The release clause.
I don't know.
I mean, to me, that is the biggest load of PR I've ever seen. That is a Daniel Levy, Donna Cullen-esque PR, like, in a nutshell, 101 in a nutshell, right? That is like, because Tottenham didn't get this deal, why don't we push out, we never actually agreed the actual terms of the deal? It's like, come on, man, come off it. The release clause was triggered, the contract was already agreed, medical was booked. It's just absolute.
But the thing is, if that was the case, as Lubo said, Lubo was spot on. If all of those metrics were hit that you've just described, then how have Spurs not got Morgan Gibbs White?
I think,
how has it not gone to the Premier League, and how have we just allowed this to happen? So if Spurs were right, surely we're right into the Premier League and going, hang on, we did this, and this is why I think there's something more at play here, Danny, with this.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think Tottenham did get the release clause information. Let's just call it illegally, right? And even though that happens in football, the fact that they've kind of pointed it out, personally, I think that's exactly why. Just listen to what Marinakis said in his interview after Gibbs White signed. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that he did not want to be low blowed with something like that. His best player, let's just call it what it is, his best player leaving the club, right? His captain leaving the club for something that he felt wasn't valued. It wasn't enough value for him as what he values Gibbs White at. And I think that's where he got annoyed by, and he obviously threatened. And I think there must have been some kind of talk with Gibbs White and the agent, because let's be honest, it was the agent that bloody leaked it, right? And it probably was illegal, because let's face it, every club does it. Simon Jordan said it himself that he's done it many times, right? Who else? Even one of the managers I was watching on TalkSport recently was saying it happens all the time. So it's not like, Wolfie, I think, is related to Marinakis. I think that's why, like, Wolfie's going to change his view now and say, Gibbs White's the best player we've got and all this kind of stuff.
Ellie, don't tell me what to do. Thank you. Sorry.
Look, I still think that we will sign one or two players, I think, in this window. Whether or not they'll be quality or not, right, is another question. But if we sit here, say, for example, end of the window, we sign. I'm just going to throw names out. I'm not saying we're going to sign these players. Just say we sign an Eze, we sign a Paulinho, and we sign maybe, I don't know, another striker, right? I'd be happy with that window personally, because we've got quality that's come straight into the first team, right? But if we don't sign another 2 players that walk into this first team, then I'm going to be extremely disappointed. But I'm also going to be like, well, what can we do? It's kind of what I expected, because it's,
But
it's
you know what
Daniel
they'll
Levy
do,
being
Danny?
Daniel Levy.
Danny, you know what they'll do? And again, this comes back as a fan base. What they'll do is, in the last week of the window, we'll buy one more first team player. And then everyone will go, see, but we need so much more.
Oh no, we know.
This
I
is
know
the
we need
problem.
more.
They will pull the wool over the eyes, because in the last week they will bring in a player that gets into our team, and everyone will forget because they'll be on the high.
No,
Do you know what I mean? We're so good at that. We're so good at that. We see, like, kudos for me, good signing.
We need another 2 or 3 level players like that to come in.
Exactly. That first
positions.
11 should have another 3 kudos standard players across the pitch. So that we turn around and go, we have upskilled 4 positions on this pitch. If
you to say right now, Sav, what in 4 positions, if we need 4 first team players, what positions would you go and get if you could get
left wing, number 8, number 6?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd do as well. Exactly.
I think we need a new midfield, we need a left winger, and we need a different type of goal scorer. Simple.
I think that's exactly what we need.
See this.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what? When I'm on panel shows, right? As much as people have banter with each other, no one's ever talking to me about, oh, we'd love that midfielder from Spurs. We'd love that striker from Spurs. We'd love that winger from Spurs. Do you know, that's the difference. There are players at other clubs, people go, oh, I'd love Morgan Rogers. Do you know what I mean? Or I'd love Anana. I'd love Watkins. We don't have that. So we rave about Bergvall and Bentancur and Sarr and Basuma, and people rave about Tell. And none of these other fan bases are worried about these players.
No,
we need, and that's why I was so angry. I thought, hang on, if we get Gibbs White and a Paulinho, and you got Kudos, look at that. 3 of that midfield
I would have
5.
been so buzzing.
Then you get a Mikatadze, for example, on the left wing. Suddenly I'm going, hang on, we look tasty. But we've gone on European tour, Danny, with Ben Bloody Davis as the only left back.
That's
just where we're at.
That is so. And do you know what, right? I'm going to call it out. I hope and I'm praying that I'm going to see Spence as the left back in these games, because I cannot stand to watch Ben Davis as our left back. I think it's an absolute disgrace. It's like what Arteta is, a disgrace. It's like it's an absolute disgrace if Ben Davis is our starting left back at the beginning of the season. Honestly, I think it's a joke. I think it's an absolute joke. And do you know, look, personally, I think if 20,000 fans in the stadium decide to get up and walk out every single game, I think that's when he's going to start noticing. Me personally, that's what I would love to be part of. But I don't think there's not enough fans that feel the same way. So that's why Levy's never going to change. Personally, it's as hard as it is, as much as we hate it, it's like I can't. Do you know what, Sav? It's like I was looking forward to this season coming back to watch games when I go back to Amsterdam again. Now I'm just thinking, seeing it, like maybe it's going to save me some money probably, and I have to sell my tickets because I'm not going to come and watch the dross that watching Ben Davis at left back and watching just a poor team. Like the same team that pretty much played last season that finished 17th.
See, the thing is, I have full trust that Thomas Frank won't let that happen in terms of the 17th. Thomas Frank will organise us, we'll be harder to beat, we'll concede less goals, we'll be higher at the table. But I do feel like the big elephant in the room is Champions League this year.
Yeah, that's for me.
You're not going to be able, Danny, when we played Galatasaray, we rotated like 7-8 players. Yeah. When we played Elfsborg, we rotated loads of players. When we played Karabag, we rotated all these players. We're not going to be able to play, I don't know, Villa on a Saturday. And then we've got, I don't know, I'm just making this up for example. Let's say we've got Villa on the Saturday and then we've got Bayern Munich on a Tuesday night. We're not going to be able to go, all right, Porro, Bentancur, Solanke, all come and have a rest. You're going to have to go with your strongest players. And at the moment, we haven't even got a strong 11.
No. And that, do you know what, Sav? It kind of gives me the same vibes as what I'm not saying the same tactical setup. I'm saying in terms of the players that I think Frank will trust is going to be a very small group with the players that we currently have, which means that we might see the same players play more games than they should because
Agreed.
they're the only
Agreed.
players that he trusts,
Agreed.
right? Which is kind of a little bit what Ange did, but at the same time, that's what's going to give us more chances of having injuries, more chances of fatigue, more chances of the players not being as fresh as they can be to actually give it 100% every game. And if we can't rotate the players to that level of degree that we did, say, in the beginning of the Europa League, right, last season, then it's gonna. I think Frank's gonna have a tough time this year.
Yeah,
and I'm with Lubo. I kind of feel sorry for him a bit.
Can you flick back three? Could you flick back 3 comments, please?
Here,
No,
there.
no. Next, I'm fine. I'm sitting here listening. Don't worry, guys. Keep going forward now. There was one
I'll
about,
tell you what, why don't you tell me the name of the comment? That'll be easier.
There was one about transfers at the end of the window that end up as panic buys. There you go. Opportunistic or panic buys, hence why we spend money so badly. And that's the problem with saying, well, listen, the transfer window hasn't finished. By the time we get to the last window, Danny, who's left?
No, I know that. But the thing is, there are players out there that all of you guys talk about all the time, right? That are gettable for a club like Spurs and who would instantly improve us and it wouldn't cost us an arm and a leg to bring them in. Like that's the truth. And it comes back to what are they doing with the scouting team? What are they playing at? Like when you've got like Mikel Tadzi, right? He's a great player. He's a really good winger. And I think he could cover different positions as well. And I think he'd make a massive difference to what we have right now, right? There's so many players out there that you could go and get who instantly improve us and instantly give us the chance of competing at a much higher level. But why are we not doing it?
The window opened the first 10 days of June. Then we had a break of 6 days, and 6 weeks ago today the window opened again, and we've got 2 players through the door.
And do you know what, right? I think there are. I hear what you're saying, but I also think there are better players out there than Gibbs White who would become cheaper as well. Who'd be cheaper to buy.
Sure,
yes,
but we don't
agree.
No, and we don't get them, and that's the problem. And
look at Arden Jashari. I know we're talking about
Jashari,
Jashari at Bruges, right?
They
want 40 million. Milan can't afford it at the moment. They keep getting bids
rejected.
Euros
as well, isn't it? Is that euros? 40 million euros.
Yeah. Now imagine. He's just one example. Why can't Spurs go into a club like that and go? I don't know. You know, I'm not saying he definitely wants to come, but that's one example. There's players all over Europe, all over the Premier League, all over Europe, all over Brazil, Argentina. We're just so bad at it. Yeah. We're so bad at it that what we've started doing as a fan base is started praising the poor players we've got because it's copium.
Yeah. Yeah.
We started praising signings like Tell. We've got fans that praise signings like Tell because it's copium, Danny.
Well, I think Tell could be a decent player under Frank, right? But again, we need right now. Like I'd be happy if we go and sign. I don't know who'd be a good left winger. Okay, just say Mikel Tadzi, right? If you bring in Mikel Tadzi and then you have Tell as your winger options, I'd be happy with that.
Sure.
For now.
Sure. Right? But what we've done is we've bought, as it stands at the moment, it looks like Tell was our left winger signing for the summer. Yeah, as it stands. That's where you look at it and go, see, for me, a player like Tell, that's the player you bring in at the end of the window for an opportunity when you've done your main signings. Do you know what I mean? So Spurs have bought their 4 main players in, and in the last week you go, should we take a punt on Tell? Yeah, okay, we'll do that. But we've brought him in at the beginning of the window. He's going to be playing all these preseason friendlies. I'm baffled as to what we're doing at all.
So am I, Seth. And do you know what the most worrying thing is? That we haven't done anything about the players that we need to get rid of. Like, again, it's like what you said. We envy Chelsea the way they sign and sell players, right? I wish Spurs even operate at 10% of the way Chelsea operated their transfer business, right? In and outs. And we've still got every single player that we keep talking about that we need to move on is still there. Nothing's been done. That's more worrying, I think, than actually the players that we're bringing in. Because if we want to actually make space for our already bloated squad, we need to get rid of some of these players. And we haven't done it. So what, are we going to just keep bringing in players and then have 5 or 6 shit players in every position? And then actually we can only use 1 or 2 of them. It's ridiculous. Look, if you look at that, right, that squad, realistically, who's the players you actually would say, yeah, I want in the squad? Realistically, I could
Danny,
probably.
I'll make this simpler. As I've always said, and Lubo always tells me, I've always said, if I woke up tomorrow and any of these players had gone, I'm not bothered. That doesn't mean I don't like any of them, but there's no one there where you go, oh my God, he's superb. We have to hold on to him.
Yeah.
This is a squad that's been built of, I think there's a lot of journeymen.
Yeah.
A lot of journeymen there with a few good players,
definitely.
but that have issues. Like Romero's a very good player, but has the injury issues, the attitude issues. You got Maddison, very good player, always injured.
Yeah.
Other than that, I look around that team and go, who are you worried about, Danny, if you wake up tomorrow and they've been sold from that squad?
To be honest with you, the only one I'd care about really is probably Porro. Obviously Kudus, let's ignore Kudus because he's just come. And maybe Bergval. That's about it, probably, I'd say.
And that,
no one
and
else.
That there sums it up for me. That there sums it up. When you look at this squad, I look at this, obviously Kudus who's just signed. I look at this squad and I go, Abbott, is he good enough? He shouldn't be anywhere near a Spurs first team.
No,
Austin, nowhere near it, right?
No.
Bergval, young, let him develop. Basuma, been here for ages, should be gone. Byfield, I'm not going to say anything. He's 16. He's a 16-year-old centre-half. Right, Danso, good squad, good defender, good, for me, good signing, good squad player. Ben David, been here however long, should be nowhere near. Donnelly, I don't know. I don't know with Donnelly, but let's be fair. When Kulu and Maddison are fit, he's not going to see any game time in that position.
No.
Archie Gray, sorry, I'm not going to go into a Gray debate.
You know my opinion.
Nowhere near a Spurs first team. He's nowhere near the level of Tottenham Hotspur. Gunter, I mean, he's going to make up numbers, and he's not going to. He's probably going to see 45 minutes of action, right? Brennan Johnson, meh. Hinsky, okay, he's all right. Lancashire, nowhere near good enough.
No.
Odeberg, not good enough. Richarlison, not good enough. Been here 4 years. Papa Matassar, been here 4 years. He's all right.
Yeah,
right. Dominic Solanke, meh. Son, past it. Jed Spence, I like him. Good fullback, can play both areas, has brain farts, but defensively good. He'll be a backup. Meh. Van der Ven, no problem with him. Should be there. Vicario, number 1 keeper. Vuskovic, no problem with him. Yang Min Hyuk, surely he's going to end up on loan this season somewhere. So when you actually look at it like that.
Yeah, go on, Sav.
No, I was just going to say, when you look at it like that, and then you look at the players that have stayed behind, Scarlett and Devine are being told to find another loan rather than selling them. They're not good enough. Mikey Moore, the generational talent, he's going out on loan. We're talking about Glasgow Rangers, right? You've got a Dogie who's not there, who, again, I think is massively, massively overhyped. Good, but massively overhyped. Solomon, should be nowhere near this squad. Who else? Takai, I don't know. He's a 5 million kid. Surely he's going to be put out on loan.
Bruno and Dragusin.
And then Kulu, we know he's a first team player. Dragashin, good squad player. Look at that squad.
Kula I'd keep because I think he's a good player to have in your squad because he's different to what he can offer. I think he's a good player in the squad. I wouldn't say he's the best first team player, definitely not. The only player I'd say is maybe Van der Ven. I mean, you could replace him, but he's got certain skill set, which we have to wait and see whether he really is a really good defender. I mean, I know people talk about his pace and stuff like that, but I have seen him do some really great defensive maneuvers without having to use his pace. But I've also seen him when he hasn't been as good, when he hasn't had to use his pace. So I think we'll get a really good understanding of of Van der Ven's ability under Thomas Frank, like to really see what he's capable of.
Yeah. By the way, Lee, I don't think you're going to get Adam Wharton for 70 million, mate. I don't think Crystal Palace are going to let this boy go for 70 million.
A bit more. Yeah, they want a bit more.
Also, Ben Jacobs just said he understands that Chelsea are preparing a formal offer for Simmons after positive talks with Leipzig. We all know that's getting done, right?
Yeah.
We all know that's getting done. Now, this is my point. You know, all the people that were saying we should have gone in for Xavi Simmons. Can you imagine Spurs in these discussions with RB Leipzig rather than Chelsea? Can you imagine how that would go?
It'd be funny. I reckon they'd be trying to negotiate. What would they give Leipzig? Would they give them some Skywalk tickets, or would they give them like maybe a few tickets to watch a Spurs against Burnley or something like this? Some box tickets with a 3-course meal, or maybe some future tickets for the hotel when it gets built in a couple years' time. Maybe that. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Lubo, look, you've just seen that whole squad. I don't think I was really harsh on any of them. If I'm honest, I haven't said anyone's shit. I just don't. I don't think I've been harsh on any of them. I feel like we do still have to remember that this is a Champions League squad we're meant to be putting together. And when you look at that squad there, I can't see that anyone in Champions League is going to be worried about playing us in any way, shape, or form right now.
Let's just put together a squad for the Premier League. Let's not raise our expectations up to having a squad that's ready for the Champions League. You know, it's not.
Hang on, but why?
Because you can't leave Ian running the club. Ian's running the club, but they're not going to put together a squad that Chelsea and Liverpool.
That doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. This is the point. I'm not talking about, by the way, I'm not talking about putting a squad together that wins the Champions League.
No, I didn't say that. But in terms of being sort of semi-competitive, let's get a squad that's...
Basically, let's get a team that doesn't absolutely get trashed every time we go out there, basically.
Let's put a squad together.
Frank will make sure that happens. Frank will make sure, because he won't be gung-ho, right? Frank will make us harder to beat. But I think with some of that, and without attacking players, will come a bit more pragmatic. And
then what will happen is the Spurs fan will be like, oh, this is boring. I can't watch this. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen.
Go back to losing 22 games.
People like, sorry, this drives me mad. Darren, you're not getting, I hear this every season. I'm not writing them off. But I'm saying, Darren, what about for now? When I'm talking about Tell, listen to the conversation Danny and I just had about Tell. If Tell was my backup left winger, I've got no problem with bringing him in, developing him. If Tell ends up being the only left winger signing we make this year, I have a problem. I've got no problem with these youngsters developing, Darren. I've worked in youth football for 2 different football clubs. I love youth football. But the problem is, Darren, we can't say this about every signing in the squad. If you sign players at 40 million, like Gray and like Tell, their age now becomes irrelevant because they're taking away the transfer budget, right? You are signing them for the first team. They have to perform. Their age now is not a thing. And this is the thing, guys. Age is only ever mentioned when a player doesn't do well. When a player does well, no one says 70. They go, good player.
Yeah.
So, no, Darren, it's not. I'm not writing them off. Vuskovic, Tell, Gray, Bergvall, Moore, they could be the greatest 5 youngsters in the history of football. But right now, Tottenham don't need more potential. Tottenham needs some ready-made footballers.
I already said this, Sav. If we sign another youngster under the age of 23, right? Honestly, I just can't. I'm not even going to get excited for this season.
But Danny, I don't mind if they're 21, 22. Like, for example, like Harvey Elliott, 22.
But they've got to be 200
quality games. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear like someone from the Japanese league who we've never heard of, and then we have to Google him, and then everyone's going to do YouTube compilations and be like, "Oh yeah, he's the next Messi," or you know what I mean, the next Son, or whatever. Yeah. It's like no, I can't have that. I need someone who actually is you can see this guy is going to change us or go straight into that first team. I don't want any bench players again. I need first team footballers, Kudus level ready players. That's what I want. That's the only type of level of player I want to see come into this club.
We agree on that. Look, I mean, Lubo, even someone, Lubo, like you champion a lot of the younger players, but even you said it last season. We got them now. we've got enough.
Yeah.
Like, stop buying them. But yet, other than Kudus, Takai.
Do you know what the worst thing is, Sav?
Oh, fuck.
Do you know what the worst thing is, right? Because I think all of us would love to see the youngsters be good enough to go into that team. But the problem you've got is when you've got a first team that's so bad, a first team 11 that's so bad, that's nowhere near the standards as what you need to be. You can't just keep bringing in integrating youngsters with crap, because then they're never going to develop, right? And then what happens is we sit here and we see like players like Archie Gray, players like whoever else, Moores, and players like that. They're never going to be able to actually improve because they're not given. Maybe Archie Gray is an anomaly for last season because of the injuries, but the other players, they'll only play when we've got injuries or when we've got this kind of stuff, and it's not often enough, and they're not playing maybe in the positions they need to be played in. So you're not really developing the player. And I think if you have a first 11 that's really strong, yeah, you can do what the big clubs do, which is you can have like a really strong first 11 and put in a youngster who can then actually develop with good players around them, and they actually will get more of a chance because you can rely on the better quality players.
The way Lewis Skelly's got into Arsenal's first team at left back.
Correct.
Because Arsenal have got a solid defence that can.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly.
Which is like the pathway, the one youngster per year coming through that Ferguson used to have. To bring him with all his stars, because you can bring in a kid with 10 established players, 15, 20 established players. That kid can come in and feel comfortable, help him, and all of a sudden,
look what happened to Foden. Look what happened to Foden in recent years with Man City. Look at the players that he came in with. De Bruyne's and Aguero's and like top class, world class players.
Dude, I've never said we're going to win the Champions
League.
That's not the point, is it? That's not the point. Surely the point is you want to do what Villa did this year. Villa were never going to win it, but made it to the quarterfinals, and I think they generated something like 80 million quid. Right?
With the team we've got now, with the squad we've got now, Sav, we ain't going to get out the group stages.
You're telling me?
No way. We're going to get battered.
We'll finish between 25th and 36th. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
The squad as it is now.
So this is why I am so glad Thomas Frank is here, because this is going to have to be done on tactical ability and coaching every game. This is going to have to be done on tactical flexibility. And listen, again, I'm not going to make it an Ange Frank debate. I think these are silly, but we need this guy now more than ever. And I think people need to lay off him, get off his back. And I now feel sorry for him. Even when Ange came in, he was given 4 or 5 first team starters. This guy's been given kudos.
Yeah.
One.
I feel sorry for him as well, Sab. It's mad. I don't understand. But what I think what fans are frustrated with the most is that we're not going into just another season. We're going into a season with a Champions League football. That's the biggest problem, is because our squad shouldn't even be in the Champions League. It's not at that level, like nowhere near that level.
That's why, Danny. That's why I say let's get a squad. I know, Sav, you want to do well in the Champions League. I understand that. We all want to, but for me, we don't have a squad at the moment that is good enough for the Champions League. No. So for me, I'm not even sure we've got a squad that's good enough for the top 8. So let's get a squad that is competitive in the Premier League. And nobody, we all want to enjoy the Champions League. I'm sure I'll have 1 or 2 really good trips in the autumn coming up that I'll enjoy for the day or 2 out. But we're not there. We're not there. We're kidding ourselves if we think we can buy enough decent players to be competitive and do a Villa this coming season.
Yeah. I looked at Villa last year in the Champions League, and you know what they had? Right, they had strength throughout their team to cope with those big games.
But so if they came into a Champions League season from 4th place. We're going in from 17th. The gulf is enormous.
I understand. I understand. It wasn't the point I'm making. The point I'm making is they went in. When you look at their midfield, for example, the engine room, they went in with senior pros.
Sure.
Yeah, Tielemans, Onana, Kamara, and John McGinn. They went in with senior pros. They're going in with, like, even in this back half of the Champions League, they're going in with Marcus Rashford, Ollie Watkins, right? Asensio's.
So, yeah.
Right? You look at Spurs. We're going in with Tell, Odegaard, right? We're going in with Brennan Johnsons. We're going in with Solanke. Like these are not Champions League footballers. I'm not saying we're going to lose all 8 games in the group in the league table. I'm not saying that.
We might though.
You've got to. It doesn't. Danny, I said this earlier in the show. You know me. I don't ever sit there and give unrealistic names of who I think Spurs can sign. I'm not one of these that says, "Oh, just put 100 million down on Vert." Just get some experience. But if not for the Champions League, for nothing else, just get some experience. Get some pros that can come in.
You could get like two good players with the money that we would have spent on Gibbs White. Just saying, like, what I think that's the biggest frustration for me is that we just don't go and get the players, and it's going to be part of it's got to be part of every aspect of why we're not getting the players. It's got to be partly scouting, partly Lange or Langer, whatever you want to call him. And hold on, I've got a cool one.
That's right. It's just looking at some of the comments, predictions regarding the Champions League. Maybe we'll win 1, maybe 2, maybe we'll draw 1 or 2, and we'll lose the rest, and we'll finish on 5 or 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, maybe. We're a long way off the 15, 16 needed. I don't know. It's just not going to happen, is it? Just not.
It's not, and I'm just a bit. Listen,
I agree, Mark. I agree. Listen, the weekends we looked a lot more.
And you've got to tell me what time these this.
No, the one that's on now. The one that's on now. Right, the one plus on the weekend, we look like we're playing in a structured formation compared to last year. It's a massive positive. We saw that last week against Reading, the way the team was set up. You had one fullback wide, you had the other fullback coming in, which made it look like, you had Udogie wide and a bit further up the way they started. To me, it looked like a back 3 the way he started at Reading. It wasn't, but that's how he's set it up in a fluent way where Romero and Van der Ven are the 2 centre backs, and Romero and Porro's coming in from the wing, or Udogie's coming in and Porro's going wide. You're setting up with a double pivot, and then you've got a 3 and a 1. And it appears he's playing a 4-2-3-1 system. Unfortunately, the 3-5-2 I would have liked to have seen. Unfortunately, he's not, because I really think we're wasting Porro and Udogie because they're great. I think they'll be superb wing backs. You're right, we'll be lucky to get above 25th. But that's the only positive. The build-ups in both games on Saturday were slow, laborious. The opposition were given a chance. The opposition were given a chance to set up before we'd even attacked. And it's all right, people saying, oh, but we played Wickham, we played Luton, both 2 divisions below us. The fact, yes, they're 2 divisions below us, but these players are good enough to play professional football. Let's not start belittling these players. And if you're playing slowly and you're good enough to play in League One, then these managers will have them set up to defend. And the space is closed down. This will be a major problem, and Frank has got obviously to improve that. But it's early days. He's had 3 pre-season friendlies so far. That's all he's had. He's only had 2 weeks with the players. They came in. I think they came in for the checkups, for the fitness tests, etc., to see where they were 2.5 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago today they started training. So let's give him a chance. It's going to take him, I think, half a season to get his ideas integrated into the team. So for people to do their nut over to, for me, I looked at Saturday's game and I thought, he walked out the grounds, and, I won't have that afternoon back in my life. But it's just a stepping stone in terms of Frank getting the team ready. And don't expect him to have all the problems from the last 2 years sorted out by by August the 16th. It's going to take him time to put right.
But this is the problem. This is the problem. People are expecting him to have everything sorted out in 2 pre-season games.
Ange left it in a complete mess. The whole thing was a complete mess last season. Let's 14 points since Christmas. Jesus, 14 out.
Well, the thing is, Archer, Frank actually mentioned, didn't he, in his interview, that the key thing for him at this stage was to start working on the defence.
Yeah.
So clearly, Thomas Frank's looked at Spurs last season and gone,
Jesus,
God,
what a mess.
We've got to sort that out. I just think, as I said, the bigger issues for me at play are not the pre-season friendlies. They're not. At the moment, the bigger issues for me are what are we doing signing-wise? What are we doing signing-wise? And at the moment, as Simon says, it's August on Friday. It's August. There's all well and good saying the window is not shut and there's still time, but
sure.
I mean, what do? We bring in a player and then their first game is Burnley. So we don't even want the new players for PSG. And we play PSG in 16 days, is it?
Yeah.
16 days we play PSG.
Yeah.
Like, that's utterly embarrassing.
You'd want to have your first team playing against PSG. In fairness, your first team for Burnley should be the team that plays on against PSG.
So
this is Tottenham.
This cracks me up. I love these sort of accounts. Look, Tottenham could complete 5 transfers this week. Yeah, all right, mate. 5 transfers. Look, it's just tough. Let me get some super chats done. Big up to the real Raging Rhino. Love that name. What a great name. With a lovely sunset there, or a lovely sky picture. It's been a member for 1 month, so thank you very much. Said Chelsea spent 1.62 billion since 2022 on transfers. Yeah, they've also recouped half of that, haven't they, in player sales as well, which is not to be sniffed at. They're bloody good at selling players, but yeah, they spent a lot of money, but their owners want to win. Their owners want to win. Big up to you. Daniel Field has come in with not 1, not 2, but 3 super stickers. Thank you very much, Daniel. Really appreciate that. Daniel, if you could tell these type people, they don't have to put money in. They're not even subscribing or liking. 1 subscriber in the entire show. 1 new subscriber. We've had nearly 1,000 in for most of the time. Thank you, Daniel. And on the likes, 463. We should have 500 easily. Only going to go for another 10 minutes to round it off to 2.5 hours. But this is the problem, right? We've got 16 days till PSG, 19 days till Burnley, and if I'm not wrong, 35 days until the transfer window shuts. You know what, guys? We're going to be doing this all again next window, aren't we? Going to be the same the next window as well.
Demoralising, dispiriting. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
It is. Apologies, by the way.
Owners. This is the
What's
most
that,
shocking piece of neglect from any owners in any football club anywhere in the world, I think.
Look
But
at Sunderland's owners. Look at Sunderland's owners.
I do have to agree with Sav when he does say this, right? When he says about how you do love off the young players that we do sign, Lubo. That is who the club bring in. So it's kind of a bit contradictory.
You know what it is, Danny? I must tell you something. I must tell you, we all love the homegrown players that come through. And you look at, some of our best ever players, Perryman, Ledley King, Harry Kane, Stevie P, fabulous players. So I want to see some kids come through. And while we've got these owners that don't stretch and won't go after the best players, and we know they're not going after the best players, we're not even at a level that we can compete with the best players. You just hope that we will unearth some gems from the academy that will come through, that will make up for it. Because under these owners, we're not going to buy these players, are we? So for me,
no,
they're not going to buy them. So it's pointless dreaming. So you just hope that we've got players actually in the club who are there, and you hope people like Mikey Moore will come through, people like an Abbott, Jamie Donnelly will come through and will be serious players for our club. Because if there's no hope, and I've lost hope with the owners buying these established players, but if we've got the players at the club, they're already there. Let's hope that they'll come through. And
that's also the problem, though, Lubo, because the owners contradict what the fans kind of want in a weird way, right? So it's like they want to try and get as much money as possible, but they don't want to bring in the first team players to actually help with bringing in as much money as possible to get higher up the table, right? But then at the same time, because they want that, we don't get to give the youngsters a chance to actually develop within the first team, because our first team is nowhere near the standard that should be for young players to develop in. So it's like catch-22. It's like you can't win. You just can't win no matter what. So and until it's kind of like what people have said before. Until they decide what avenue they want to go, do they want to be a club that's going to just drive with the kind of ethos that it's young players want to develop, that's the way we want to go that way? Or are we going to buy established players and then chuck in one or two youngsters here and there to actually help develop in that way? But it's like what Tottenham do is that they kind of just keep switching all the time. They're like, oh, I don't know, which way are we going? We're going this way, we're going that way, we're going this way. And then when they do buy players for a lot of money, they're never normally good enough to actually play at any of the top 10 clubs in the league.
There's no solid established strategy, is there, at the club?
But that's why I'm saying it's like a maze. It's like intertwining everywhere you go.
There never has been, and we'll just continue to look at other football clubs where their owners and the board members behave like proper football clubs. We're talking about investment. We talk about hotels. We talk about NFL. We talk about F1. We talk about skywalks. What do Liverpool fans talk about on their podcasts?
Isak for 120 million, Wirtz for 100 million or 110 million. Which other player are they going to be the first club to spend $500 million in one summer?
They don't have
and by the way, don't worry, PSR is not a thing for Liverpool. If they're going to spend 500 million, it's not a thing. And apparently Liverpool don't spend money either. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's the difference. We talk about an entertainment club. We're football fans supporting an entertainment club. It's the biggest problem, isn't it?
Liverpool, I wish Spurs ran their football club like Liverpool or Chelsea. I just wish they did, because I really do. Yeah.
Well, look, let me do a few super chats. We'll leave it there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect you over to Sean and Johnny over at Football Inc. Where are we? Big up to Atavatron, Wembley 1. I said Levy has never remotely been interested in team squad needs when it comes to the timing of transfers, i.e. getting them in early, irrelevant to Levy. Do you know what Levy is the master of, though? Just does enough.
Deception.
Just does enough. What I mean by that is, look at all the times where we just needed enough to get that extra push into Europe. We just do it. Just fans getting restless. Kudos, here you go. Right? Just does enough, doesn't he? But agree, Atavatron, I completely agree with you. Listen, I want to be sitting here doing these morning shows going, guys, can you believe it? Imagine you're a Chelsea YouTuber right now, like a pig in shit. You're talking about where will Simmons play? Well, where will Gittins play? We're sitting here going, meh. But thank you very much. Listen, guys and girls, I'm going to send you over to Football Inc. Just so you know, today at 6 p.m, Savva and Perchie. What are we doing here podcast? My boy Perchie, the greatest human being alive, my Perchie. Live.
You mean your son, Sav? You've got to tell people the truth.
My son Perchie. Live at 6 p.m. And then 8 p.m. tonight. And this should be a blockbuster one, Lubo. The Spurs 5 tonight. I'm seeing some of the panel don't want to blame Levy for anything. Some of them want to blame Frank for everything. Some of us are just I'm just deluded in my own thoughts of what's going on at the club. Lubo still wants Archie Gray to be the captain and take us into the Champions League. And then Johnny is probably still in trouble with his missus as he's still on holiday. So don't miss it. There's going to be a lot for us to row and talk about tonight. That's at 8 p.m. Over on Spurs 5. please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the Spurs 5. Please subscribe to Football Heritage TV. Much love. Take care. Thank you to Danny. Thank you to Lubo. And as always, come on.
Leave you
I'll
out.
do it today, actually. Let's do it together. And as always,
Leave you out.
out.